Trump's gonna ruin all the genders as the Democrat Party made. Say goodbye to all the illegals and farewell to all my insider trades. Just another MAGA Monday.
No!
Wish it were Pride Day. Or even George Floyd Day. I better start to drink Day. Just another MAGA Monday. Have to meet with Schumer, got a plan what we'll do this time. Should we impeach him right away or just accuse him of some made up crime? Trump's gonna ruin all the genders as the Democrat Party made. Say goodbye to all the illegals and farewell to all my insider trades. Just another MAGA Monday.
No!
Wish it were Pride Day. Or even George Floyd Day. I better start to drink Day. Just another MAGA Monday. Have to meet with Schumer, got a plan what we'll do this time. Should we impeach him right away or just accuse him of some made up crime?
Right, Adam? Adam knows what I'm talking about. I was so good. So good.
You were, listen, I will give you a couple of stars.
Thank you.
Not too many, though, you know. Hey, welcome, everybody. Please repost the space, bottom right-hand corner. Click on the purple or my pale's black for some reason. I don't know. I can't keep trying to switch back to purple, but anyways, click on that and then click on the arrows going around in a square. We'll get started here in a minute. I do want to start out with a video from my new favorite influencer, the 3D printed parts guy. He did a fantastic one today, and it really highlights the fact that our history teachers were communists and we didn't learn all the cool shit. I'm absolutely convinced of that, by the way.
Dude, I've been saying this forever. Every time that history diverts from like what is logically like sound or like a logical timeline for, you know, shit to be there, I'm pretty sure that's where it proves the Bible, and they had to rewrite it because if they proved the Bible, game over.
Did you send me the link for that video, Kim?
I did not, but I will. I was just going to play it because I'm sitting at my computer, so it's easy enough to do. I also want to maybe go through the latest Faces of Tyranny, which is all about Mr. Jeffrey Epstein. Felt that that was a relevant topic for today. So I haven't had a chance to read it yet, so I thought maybe we could read it together.
Do you want to pocket that video until we get more people in and start off with some music? The lineup of the video that you gave me?
Wait, are we
Sure.
getting the Epstein files today?
I don't know, but I mean, I figure we could talk about the article, and maybe that will,
Guys, you know how I am going to be so pissed. Like,
It's the same list.
so beyond fucking pissed, okay? If they literally put out the Epstein list and it's the exact list that we've had the whole time. Like, I'm going to be so angry.
Yeah. I have a feeling it's going to be the same list.
They literally put out a list.
It's a great tactic, though, right? It's a great tactic.
It's going to be confirmed,
Well, Jen,
they basically say, oh, that's not valid, right? We haven't released it. Meanwhile, it is that list. So when we're screaming about it, right, they're like, oh, it's not valid. So we stop screaming about it. And then when they do publish it, we're going to be like, oh, we already knew all this.
That's what I'm saying, right? Like,
you're talking about the aircraft flight records that have the names?
Okay, so there's been the aircraft flight records, right? And then apparently the Epstein actual black book has been up for auction at Christie's, and whoever owns it put it on a 50% off discount a couple of days ago to try to auction it off to try to get something out of it before they release the records. And then like, oops. But like before, when this whole thing first went down, there were flight records released and there were black book pages released. Okay. And they were like, oh no, that is not the list. No, not the list at all. You guys got it wrong. Okay. So we all back right off. Okay. You say it's not the list. We want the actual list. And we've looked like freaking idiots this whole time. Right. If they pass out the same list and we've been yelling about the list and they've been literally sitting there laughing in our faces the whole time being like, wow, these idiots have got the list and they don't even realize it. Right. Like, I'm just going to be angry.
Well, what could we do with it?
People.
Without it being confirmed,
Well, don't you think that there's going to be an overlap between the Diddy party list and the Epstein party list?
100%. There's definitely going to be some overlap.
I want to let everyone know that we are on X Live, QUX TV, Rumble, Pilled, and YouTube. So thank you, Kelly, for setting all that up.
Well, and we would be unkicked, but they like to delete videos. So until they can explain themselves, we're boycotting. So if you know somebody at Kicked, ask them why they're deleting shit.
Do that or send us each a Cybertruck and make up for it.
Get him, Jen.
I'm going to give him one more chance. I'm giving him one more chance today, and that's it. And
like, I don't give a shit if you're Aiden Ross. Why are you deleting shit? Okay. Like, this is what I'm talking about. Now that we've taken over people, okay, we have a responsibility to be good stewards and not start doing the same shit they were doing and be like, oh, well, we can do it now. No. Okay. No deleting shit. No censoring people. Okay. Like, this is basic shit.
I wonder if they did it for room. I mean, that's the only thing I can think to why that.
Well, then they should have put a note out.
Yeah, you just don't arbitrarily delete stuff. I mean, it could be room or I can't find their customer service or whatever, or
music,
or that they're okay. Go ahead.
I was gonna say it could be the music at the beginning of the space that goes on the stream.
No, that's not. It's not.
Okay,
it's not, because not every space has. I mean, they deleted everything except for 3 videos, so not everyone has music in the beginning. The other thing I'm thinking, maybe they're going to go towards a pay service, and right now I'm on a free, but until I can find their customer service or tech support or something, yeah, I don't know.
Maybe they're just chums.
That's probably most likely the case.
Hey, I'm gonna start it up because that track you gave me is what? That Doge
go
one.
Back to Chodes.
Chodes. Somebody said that some rep or their last name is Gooch, and I was like, what? I was like, did you say Gooch? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, okay, that was the child in me asking that question. Yeah, like, what
We'll talk
what the
about
heck?
living up to your name.
Right? But it turns out to be a good gooch to support, I guess. But yeah.
Yeah, we could play that
Still
video.
a hoe gooch.
We could play that video, Adam, and then I sent you another one as well because this is one I was watching this morning. And it's Del Bigtree talking about the inserts of the vaccines, and it's talking about the Hep B vaccine. And if every parent is not up in arms and freaking like knocking down their doctor's doors, I don't know what we're doing here, because it is just disgusting what these pharmaceutical companies have been doing.
No,
I was
Kim,
wor-
do you know they're coming out? Oh, sorry, Commander.
No, I was just going to remind Kim that she was almost on the razor edge there. She said parents instead of the word mother, which the governor of Wisconsin, Tony Evers, says that you can't say it. It's now inseminated person.
I can't. I saw that yesterday.
Sounds like he needs to go inseminate himself.
Yeah, with a freaking pipe bomb.
No, with a hot
Jesus.
Disavow.
Kim's like so
Disavow.
overboard sometimes, I swear to God. That's hilarious.
Peacefully.
Sorry, what's wrong with the hot
Peacefully.
product?
Yeah. The disclaimer's
gonna
in the
kill
purple
ya.
pill.
Yeah, it is.
Oh my gosh.
All right, let's kick it off with some music, guys. Please
I hope he
repost the
sits on a
space.
cactus.
Oh, there we go. I like that one.
Please like and repost the space. We're gonna play a little music here. It's a Manic Monday.
Where is our money
Let's get it
at?
started.
With current and projected deficits, we need to cut expenditures by 32%.
Let's make it an even 40.
Oh, that's not necessary.
Slash it. My administration will establish the brand new Department of Government Efficiency.
President Donald Trump's new Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE for short, officially established earlier this week after a first-day executive order. The new
I love
entity,
it that
which
it's to
plans
Madonna, 'cause
try
she
to
hates
slash
him.
billions in government spending, will operate as part of
Is that what it is? I didn't get to watch this yet.
They will have a congressional arm.
That is
President
19-year-old
Donald
Edward
Trump's or
Corson,
DOGE
better
for short,
known
officially established
as
earlier this week after a
Big
first-day executive order.
Balls.
The new entity, which plans to try to slash billions in government spending, will operate as part of the executive branch. And they will have a congressional arm.
That is 19-year-old Edward Corson, better known as Big Balls.
Big balls, big balls, big balls,
Government
big balls.
An acronym that just so happens to spell Doge. Time for Doge.
Now, the disruptor, Chief Elon Musk, who apparently has adopted the alias to Harry Balls.
Time for Doge.
Department of Government Efficiency, an acronym that just so happens to spell Doge.
Nobody knows where it goes.
They just like you, and they're just like me. And you running around and you think you got a bank account with a lot of skills, you know, I don't think so.
Government is overspending. Nobody knows where it goes. I don't get the one who cries. Cause your bills are never running. They tax you to the bone. When government fails at efficiency, deficit gets bigger every day. I know some kids who wanna save the game, so it's time for you. And here's where it says, so come on, don't hold it back. We should make our money do what we choose it. Hey, hey, come on, don't hold extermination. Make that money go where we know. You know we make it to you we need. There's our own investigation. Corruption's to the core. There's so much more they can hide from their own extermination. It's what we voted for. It makes no difference who you're working for. If you're a temporal tie, if you waste tax money, you'll be out that door. Yeah, you'll be on the streets. The train on your city, you know it.
That was fantastic.
Trump's trying to ruin all the genders at the Democrat Party. Say goodbye to
Got Talent.
That was Nancy Pelosi. What do you expect?
Oh, that was United Spots doing
Yeah.
Remember This. We can play that one later, but that was
All right.
great. I loved it.
All right, then let me just finish with this here.
Best not make any more threats to the United States. They will be met with fire and fury like the world has never seen.
Anyone that wishes to do harm to our way of life and our citizens here or abroad will face the full wrath of the Department of Justice and the Federal Bureau of Investigation. And if you seek to hide in any corner of this country or any corner of this planet, we will put on the world's largest manhunt and we will find you. And we will decide your end state, not you.
Restore integrity to the Justice Department, and I will fight violent crime throughout this country and throughout this world and make America safe again.
Hey, look, they gave me 5 minutes to say a few things, so if I offend anybody tonight, I don't give a shit.
But if we need to fight them, we're going to bring overwhelming and decisive force to close with and destroy the enemy and bring our boys.
All right. There we go. Thought that was a good clip.
I love it. I was just posting. I posted the bingo cards in the chat bubble, and I'll put them up in the nest here in a minute. But make sure you get your bingo cards printed out, people, because it is time for indictments. They're going to be coming down. We want to make sure we keep track of them all, mark them down. I did one version was our wish list, and the other version came straight from Government Gangster, which my Secret Santa did me for Christmas this year.
Do you know who your Secret Santa really is?
I did not know who. I never did find out. They gave me a flask, a copy of Government Gangster's book, and some Christmas candy. And I'm trying to remember who I had the conversation with about loving Christmas candy. It was an open bag too, so like I feel like they're a little bit, ghetto. All right, Adam, will you play that the 3D parts guy?
Oh shoot! I was going to grab a cup of water, but I'll run back upstairs. Give me a second.
I thought he said he was going to grab a cold one, but he was a cold water.
Yeah, I don't really drink. I drink occasionally, and you'll know.
Oh, we know.
Not like Nancy Pelosi or anything.
Nah. I keep it pretty sober. So let me see. I'll look for that video.
And the people streaming will be able to take advantage of the bingo cards because I upload them to a public location, and I'm sharing the link on the chats. And I'll also put it in the purple pill too.
Nice.
You send it to me or
I put it up at the top.
Yeah.
I sent it to Cyber Patriot and the group DM.
Sweet. Thank you.
Now, how are the two cards different, Kim?
One of them is our wish list, right? Like the ones
Wait,
that
do you have Reid Hoffman on there?
No, I don't. We can make another one too. Like I can swap out some names.
No, he really needs to be on there because he is the money behind the Democrat Party, and he's the one at the Billionaire Summer Club that got in a fight with Peter Thiel and was like, "Oh, I wish I would have made a real martyr out of Donald Trump 2 days before Donald Trump was nearly assassinated."
Well, I figured that we would have more names, so we can do another bingo card version, and we'll see which one's going to be the winner. I feel like Government Gangsters one is probably going to be a good one because those are already on his target list. But some of them have gotten these, fake pardons. So we got to deal with that whole issue too.
You watch that Dan Bongino video I posted
Oh, it's so good.
earlier.
I got that one in the lineup to play today too. So
yeah, he's not
Wait,
playing
you guys know
around.
Graham Allen was asked to join the administration?
yes, I saw his, he almost cried like 3 times. It was so good. Where's he from, Jen?
I want to say Texas, but I'm probably wrong.
No, like where would I know him? Like I had not seen him before. Was he like January 6th type thing, or is he like a military guy?
Not January 6th, but like before that, like just mega, like part of like the 2020 group of people, I think. I know he was like around when we did the bus tour. That's what I'm trying to think.
Oh, he had a podcast.
I want to say he
too.
has like had a podcast or something with a large audience.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was talking about, how they were going to handle that kind of thing. So I suspect that Dan Bongino is going to have to do something like that too.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure like all of them have to, like, I know when Bannon went to the White House, like he had to divest from everything and like put like all of your business assets, everything you have to your name, like you have to turn over.
So you have no conflict of interest. What a concept.
Yeah, he's on Rumble. I've watched his podcast before, I think.
So there's like, there's this whole like second process happening, right? It's not just them like, accepting the position, right? Like they literally have to like pretty much divest from their lives in order to, I mean, you're supposed to, right? Not like the Democrats ever did this, right? But you're supposed to pretty much divest from absolutely everything in your life so that you can just be completely allegiant to like the US government in your position.
Did I hear correctly that that the FBI has put forth or started investigations on 13 Democrats in Congress? Or is that a rumor?
That number seems low.
maybe that's just the first batch.
Well, 13 is a bad number for these people, so,
I just really wish I could have been a fly on the wall with Hillary Clinton when he named freaking Bongino.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. He is going to be such a like badger. It's going to be awesome.
Well, no, and it's like, so I don't know how much you guys know, but so after the earthquake in Haiti, in like 2012 or something like that, the Clinton Foundation and Hillary Clinton were given all of this money to go in and rebuild Haiti. And let's just say they didn't. And they actually, instead of like going in and making new roads and like other stuff, they literally just built shanty towns with these little roads and these little shanty town neighborhoods where crime runs rampant, and like literally stole all the money from Haiti into the Clinton Foundation, and then started human trafficking people out of Haiti, where the Clinton Foundation like lawyer or something got caught at the border of the Dominican Republic with a whole bunch of kids in the back of her SUV. Like, what?
Yeah, they stole money, stole the kids. I mean, they're opening that up too. What I heard.
I mean, talk about U.S. aid money. That's where the U.S. aid money, right? Think about the Clinton initiative's relationship with U.S. aid.
It's a siphon right into their pockets.
But I mean, what they did in Haiti was like beyond criminal.
I lived in like South Florida. Haitians do not like the Clintons at all, and probably overwhelmingly supported Donald Trump in 2024.
Legitimately stole the money and gave them like pieces of metal to like tin together to like make houses if they even had metal, and stole all the money.
Oh, they're gonna get it. Don't worry.
If you know Boynton Beach, that's like Little Haiti, and that's where I lived before I moved to Central Florida. And yeah, it was like 90% Haitian or something around there. And they don't like the Clintons at all. Trust me.
I want to say I have a Breitbart article I wrote about this because I interviewed a Haitian doctor who came over who was connected to the government, I want to say. And he like detailed it for me at the time, like what the Clinton initiative was doing. I'm pretty sure I wrote an article about it.
Yeah. Again.
Anyone disagree? What's that?
What?
You rugging, Commander? You rugging?
I'm not rugging.
You did. You went a little robot.
No,
for a
I
second.
stopped speaking.
Dude, 100% rugged,
Okay.
dude.
You're clean. You're clean. You're 5x5 now, right?
Go ahead, Commander.
I lost my train of thought. Where are we? When are we gonna talk about Dan Bongino?
But we're gonna talk about Dan Bongino after Adam plays the first video, and then we're gonna also play the Dan Bongino video. So you just hold tight there, Commander.
So this is 3D printed Ford parts. Definitely check him out.
My dude.
Yeah, he's definitely a pretty cool dude. Long live the Republic. Let's let it roll.
Cash Patel, acting director of the ATF. Why would you do that? Don't need a full-time director if you're just going to burn that agency to the ground and salt the earth with it. Yeah, bye-bye ATF, because you've done nothing but harass regular Americans for exercising their Second Amendment rights. We've all seen the videos. You guys are fucking criminals. And fucking Pam Bondi's already fired multiple people in the ATF. The Attorney General's far more powerful than a lot of people realize. Like, that is who Cash Patel will answer to. Like, Pam Bondi is Cash's boss, essentially, in the hierarchy of how this fucking works. There is a constitutional crisis in this country, and the crisis is that nobody's read the fucking Constitution, of people, especially the people in the media. Educate yourself, people, because as we move forward here, we are going back to the Constitution, which is going to give more power back to the states. That's where Vivek went. Vivek is running for governor of Ohio. To run for governor of Ohio, you can't be a federal employee for at least a year. That's why he couldn't be part of Doge. That's where he's going. And we all need to pay attention to our local elections. If you are at all capable, get involved. Get involved. Find good candidates. If you can, step up and be a candidate. People, this is a new world, and we all have a part to play. People have not been paying attention for a fucking solid 80 years. We've let the government run amok because things have been good, and we have dropped our guard. That needs to end. Everybody, get involved, do your part at the local level. Trump is going to clean up the federal level, but you need to understand how much power resides in the states. Yes, and that's what we need. We need good governors. And here in South Dakota, we're going to have to find ourselves a new governor because Trump took ours away and sent her down to clean up the border. And she's going to do a killer job at that because she did a great job here as a governor, especially during Corona. We did not play that game. I never wore a mask. My kids went to school. Probably a lot of you don't even know that. We didn't do any fucking lockdowns. There wasn't none of that bullshit. It was, yeah, because the media lies to everybody. Didn't want anybody to know that South Dakota fucking, we don't play them fucking games. Same with concealed carry, and that's why you don't need the ATF. Concealed carry, reciprocity, with that going across state lines. But I mean, here in South Dakota, we don't even have concealed carry permits. We have constitutional carry, open, concealed, whatever. Grab your guns, stop them crimes, because we stop the crimes. The power starts and ends with the people. How much we pay attention. And that's what everybody needs to do. Get involved at the local level and fucking pay attention to those goddamn primaries. Primaries is where you pick good candidate. It is not at the general election. If you're waiting to the general election, the fucking problems have already been caused. They've already bought that shit. The primaries, people. Primary elections. Get yourself some good candidates. Good luck to you all. Long live the Republic.
I love that one.
So good. I dropped my precinct strategy thread in there in his comments like pretty early on when he released that video.
Nice. And then I have another one, but we'll play that one later. I want to play the one that he's talking about, Dan Bongino. So we can play the Dan Bongino one first, and then maybe we go to the 3D printed parts.
Sounds good. Let me get that Bongino one lined up. The one that I posted, is that the one that you're talking about?
Is it the one where he is like looking into that camera, like, you know, he's about to like throw down?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll cross check it with you in the back channels. In the meantime, Commander, what do you think of Mr. 3D printed parts?
I don't know what to say.
I feel like you and he would be best friends. He says what you write in your, like, when you go out there and start shit posting, this guy like basically says what you're saying in your writing.
Well, you know, great minds think alike. His voice, he kind of reminded me a little bit of who was the guy who played oh no, my mind's blank. The comedian who's married to Blake Lively.
Ryan Reynolds?
Ryan Reynolds sounds. He reminds me. Maybe he doesn't sound like him, but he reminds me of Ryan Reynolds for some reason.
Yeah, they went woke, and now they're yuck. Used to love them though.
Well, we have a lot to talk about Kash Patel and Dan Bongino at the FBI, but I got to tell you, stuff is breaking on X, and I posted it up in the top of the jumbotron about this national security agency, the NSA, using a classified communication server, and all these transgenders are going back and forth talking about operations and stuff. It's crazy. You got to read this Christopher Rufo thread. So maybe later we can dive into that.
I saw that right when I opened the space. I was starting to look at that. I mean, what is wrong with these people? Like, really, they really need help.
Yeah. The guy that played the Incredible Hulk, just in case if you guys don't remember who that is exactly, in the Avengers series, and he's played other roles, of course, but the guy's been unhinged. And it's the ones screaming the loudest, right? The ones that scream the loudest during the election and prior to. You know, they've been screaming for 8 years.
I think, Adam, they have the same name, but it's a different guy, because the Christopher Rufo that I posted posts a lot of journalism stuff.
Oh, okay.
And he has
My
a
bad.
picture. He doesn't look like the actor.
That's Ruffalo.
Yeah,
well, that guy too.
It's Ruffalo.
Ruffalo, Rufo. Roof over their head. I don't care.
All right, why don't you play that Dan Bongino clip, and then we'll talk about Mr. Dan.
All right, sounds good.
Folks, they always accuse you of what they're doing. And because they're terrified that their tyranny is not going to continue if Donald Trump wins, they're now doing this simple distraction technique that has appealed to useful idiots for a long time and been used by commies, socialists, Soviets. They've used it forever. They just blame you for exactly what they're doing.
Politico recently spoke with former intelligence officials about how on edge the idea of a second Trump term makes all of them.
Are you freaking kidding me? Are these the same 51 intelligence officers who falsely bullshitted America? These scumbags, every single one of them. You hear me? Absolute scumbags. You don't like the word? Too bad. That's what you are. A bunch of scumbag fuckwads. Fuck you guys. Fuck you guys. 51 of you pieces of shit who told America before an election.
50 former national intelligence folks who said that what he's accusing me of is a Russian plan.
During the campaign season, you want to be able to understand everything that the Russians might do.
This laptop that would have changed the entire course of American history, would have kept the border closed if Trump got reelected, probably wouldn't be a Russian invasion of Ukraine, probably wouldn't have been an October 7th attack either. We'd be living in a different world right now. because you 51 intelligent scumbags, knowing you were full of shit the whole time, now you dare, you've got the balls to say that Trump could weaponize the spy services? I'm demanding an investigation if Trump wins into all of these people for a conspiracy to interfere in an election and potentially worse. And Joe Biden is going to be the first target of that investigation. We will never, ever teach these people that deep state lawfare is wrong without exposing them to the same sets of rules they want to impose on us. Someone did steal an election, and Joe Biden was a field general in that war on election integrity. Listen to me. I want an investigation into this conspiracy to steal the 2020 election, and no, we shouldn't let it go. I don't want to hear shit about, oh, it's time to move on. It's not time to move on. Or they'll do it again. It's terrifying. It's frightening. They stole this damn thing. They hid that laptop information. You know it. We know it. I want everyone as either, they better give depositions, and if they committed criminal activity, I want them charged too. The deep state is real. It's members of the media. It's intelligence community members. Here's the key, active and retired. It's bureaucrats within the government.
Mr. Vindman, you testified in your deposition that you did not know the whistleblower.
Ranking member, it's Lieutenant Colonel Vindman, please.
You testified in the deposition that you did not know who the whistleblower was.
Per the advice of my counsel, I've been advised not to answer specific questions about members of the intelligence community.
It is saboteurs inside the Trump administration last time. The deep state is real. The deep state is real.
Tell me, are you worried about this retribution concept playing out?
And of course, at the end, you see Jamie Ratskin's face frozen up and really looking worried. Yeah, so he's going full-fledged on that, I think. He's in a position to investigate.
Well, you know what? Dan Bongino is feared like Cash Patel because he has put together, without relying, as far as anyone knows, without relying on any classified information, only open source, using his law enforcement training and his media background. He wrote 3 books. He's written like 7 books, but 3 books are just about the corruption of the deep state. So people are literally shitting their pants right now.
Shouldn't have ran a soft coup on duly elected president.
I'm sending you that other, the 3D printed parts one on Bongino. This one has another civics lesson in it, and I'm hoping that he's going to give us little civics lessons in all of his posts moving forward. I learned who Cincinnati was, and
yeah, Cincinnati.
Yes, and also what a dictator. Yes.
That's funny.
That was my favorite one by far.
It was a funny thing is the subtitle said dictator. I was like, what?
It's so funny.
You pay attention. All right, I got it queued up. I'll play it right now.
Trump has just added another Avenger to the team, and this one's fucking beautiful. I fucking love it. Trump has just appointed Dan Bongino to be Deputy Director of the FBI under Cash Patel. There is no way that place will not be spick and span and out arresting actual criminals. That will be so nice for a change. If you don't know who Dan Bongino is, he took over for Rush Limbaugh after Rush died. But where he comes from, he was a New York cop. Then he was in the Secret Service, highly decorated. The man is a true red-blooded American. Like, when you listen to this dude, he served under Obama. So, he kind of fucking knows what the fuck is up. And, like, this team is awesome because none of these people are swamp rat snake motherfuckers. These are just Americans who just want to serve. And that's what our founding fathers wanted for us. They didn't want lifelong politicians. We never were supposed to have lifelong politicians. And for the longest time, we didn't. People would just step up from their regular lives and serve for 4 or 8 years and then go back to their life. We pick from the best among us, not from this class of fucking bought off snake pieces of shit that are just greedy and looking to stuff their fucking pockets. We're looking for Cincinnatus. Cincinnati is named after Cincinnatus. Cincinnatus was a Roman consul, and he was actually made dictator twice. See, dictator in the Roman Republic was actually a highly respected position. When shit really hit the fan and you had to cut through all the fucking red tape, Rome created the position of dictator so you get shit done. And so like there was a fucking war and there's an army coming, you're like, holy shit, we gotta have somebody fucking clean this shit up. And so like there was the Aequii fucking some shit up north in Rome, and they went to Cincinnatus out in his field, and they found him on his plow, and they're like, dude, there's an army coming, we need you to save our ass. He dropped his plow, raised an army, kicked their ass, came back to Rome, was like, here's the power back, I'm going back to my farm. That is the level of service and respect and just honor that America needs to return to. We should learn these stories because that's what our founding fathers knew. That's why Cincinnati is named after Cincinnatus. And Cincinnatus did that shit twice. This is what we are going back to, people. Like America, run by Americans. I hope we're all paying attention and learning our lessons, because that's why shit is changing so fast. Because none of these fucking people are fucking politicians. We should never elect lifelong politicians. We should not even have a political class in this country. And hope to God, maybe in like 5, 10, 15 years, we can smoke all these fucking devils out and send them back to where they fucking belong. Gitmo. Yeah, that's where you belong. You fucking cheating motherfuckers. Whew! Anyway, these are awesome. This is great days. These are great days, everybody. Good luck to you all. Enjoy the show. Long live this beautiful republic.
See why I said you'd be besties?
I see that. He uses more swear words than I do.
Oh, not when you're on a roll, man. You say some real good stuff.
Doesn't curse as much, but yeah.
Because I'm tired of these. I'm tired of these Democratic hacks with their pearl clutching dramatics. It's got to stop. God, they're so infuriating.
Yeah, honestly, it's not even the Democrats, right? They just annoy me. Right? I know what a Democrat stands for. I know what a Democrat's going to say and where they're going to stand on the position. And they're going to call me a racist and a homophobe and all these other good things. What I'm really upset about is the Republicans, right? The ones who say they play on our team and stab us in the back every time. At least a Democrat represents what they're representing. That's all I got to say.
Absolutely, Jen. That's why my pinned tweet that I've had for over a year, maybe a year and a half, is from another great Roman talking about traitors inside the gate. So everyone take a look at that.
Well, Jen, you had a great idea. I'm pretty sure it was you because you come up with all these great ideas. Is that Doge we should open up something where Doge is auditing all the GOPs for each state.
Well, so not even that, Kelly. I don't care about every state, right? Like we want states' rights. They can do what they want. I want the DC GOP office audited. I want to know where Ronna McDaniel put all that money, right? The only reason Laura Trump was brought in, because notice Laura doesn't work at the GOP no more, right? And who said it the other day? Savvy? It was somebody who would have known this, right? So I trust what they said, is that we were having such an effect out here on Spaces when we were going, don't give to WinRed, F WinRed, Like, we're not here for WinRed. You go directly to the campaign website. You go directly to President Trump's website and you give there. Do not give money to WinRed. So the GOP was like, oh shit, guys, like, we don't have the money coming in. What are we going to do? Oh, we'll bring Laura Trump in. Everybody will love Laura. They'll give us money again. And they needed to do that to win the 2024 election. So God bless them, they did it. But now she's not there no more. And honestly, the Waltley guy, like, I don't really know much about him, but what I've heard about him, I think we need to audit the GOP, right? You want our money? You want to represent us? Because you know what? I would venture to say that the GOP has spent more money against MAGA, America First candidates than they ever have against the Democratic Party. So if I have somebody who's supposed to be on my side that's spending all of this money against people who I'm trying to help, well, and they're more qualified and better looking and they kiss more babies than you, why is the GOP giving the other guy money? Sounds shady. No, since you're supposedly on our side and supposedly running our party and supposedly in charge of all this cool shit, well, I think y'all need to be accountable. And let's just see how much money the GOP has spent against President Trump and his supporters over the past, 8 years.
The 2022 election, what Mitch McConnell did with Abe Hamadeh and all those other people, 100%. These people need to be checked. You know, that's the thing, is we need accountability on both sides, and that's what's going to make us different from the Democrats. They politicize warfare toward one specific person and then a group of Americans afterwards when they didn't get their way. And now it's we're going to hold both sides accountable. We don't care what your party label.
Oh, listen, Adam, like I said before,
blind justice.
I would rather go harder after the Republican Party than I would the Democrat Party. All day long. All day. I know how to beat a Democrat. I know their ideas are absolutely erroneous, and the majority of Americans do not believe or adhere to the Democrats' party's values. But my problem is we have scumbags on our side who are going and supporting with money monetarily those Democrat values over the Republican values that they're standing behind as the grand old party, right? So, like, yeah, you know what? We can go after the Democrats. It's the Republicans I want.
Yes, I agree. Blind justice. Put that Lady Justice, put that blindfold on and get to work in those skills.
And see, this is the thing. Right now, the Democrats are trembling, right? The Democrats are shitting themselves thinking we're going to come after them. And you know what? I had to live like that for 4 years. So I don't mind letting them just sit out there and flounder for a little while. It's the Republicans who don't think I have the balls to go after them and expose them that those are the people I want.
Sweat, little piggies, sweat.
Speaking of going after the Republicans and, kind of getting bamboozled by them, I did go out and listen to the first hour of that Laura Loomer space, and it was riveting. However, I don't know if the room definitely crashed, but I don't know if she started up a new one. But I'm going to go check that out because I was on
she opened
the edge of my seat. It was so good.
Matt has his hand up. I don't know if you see that, Kim, or you guys.
Yes,
see it
go
on
ahead,
my
Matt.
computer. I don't see it on my cell phone though.
Nice to see you, Matt.
I got spaces be glitchy like that, huh? Yeah, it's good. Yeah, good to see my American Mission fam. The GOP. Yeah, they were all. It's the Democrats are one thing, right? But it's the people in the GOP who are ultimately going to. You got to remember, the GOP hates us more than the Democrats do, because I heard it explained like this, and Jen, I'd love your take on this. The GOP hates us personally, but the Democrats hate us philosophically. Meaning,
100%.
With Republicans, they just disagree on how to run the government and what should be the government's moral and constitutional role in the first place. But with us, they fundamentally disagree because without them having to pander to us, they can't do what they really would do if they didn't have to. In other words, they could be as moderate and be the real controlled opposition party, but they actually are. But they can't as long as they have to pander to us.
Well, Matt, I mean, listen, I can go right to a Democrat and be like, hey, you are on the total opposite side of me on this issue. Let's talk about it. Let's see where we stand. You know, let's come to a conclusion here, right? The Republicans, what the hell am I debating? Who's more leaning to the right? Who has a better connection to Donald Trump? Like, is that what we're arguing? We're not even arguing the basis of the argument or arguing what's best for the American people. You're trying to prove to me you're a better Christian and have God on speed dial, unlike me, apparently. That's what it comes down to.
Exactly. They're trying to prove to you that they're the better fill in the blank, so you won't actually expose their scam.
Well, you're not,
and their spirit is
apparently the same blood, right? Like you like they want us to think that we are so far removed from the Democrats that we could never have a conversation with them, right? And that's literally to protect their own ass. Because at that moment, if I start getting along with a Democrat, right, and we start to see like, well, wait a second, let's talk about campaign financing, right? You have Act Blue, but we have Win Red, right? Isn't that the problem? Right? Like it's things like that. But yes, the Republicans, right? The minute you start questioning, being like, oh, well, what about Win Red? You're not a real conservative. You're not a real Christian.
Exactly.
You say swear words.
Exactly.
Jesus hates you. I'm more Christian than you ever could be. And now we're in I'm a better Christian argument here with my own side. Like that's literally what happens.
Correct. And the reason is because they get to gatekeep on their own side. They get to they get to say, oh, you can't be anything further to the right of fill in the blank, or else you're not a real conservative. And if you dare demand Republicans behave like actual Republicans, they'll start calling you things like a purist, which is kind of ironic because if you're for purity, that means they're for impurity, right? But that will never dawn on them because critical thinking just ain't their jam.
Well said, Matt. You know, so usually the people that are just saying that are the worst people. You know, like they've got the most skeletons in the closet. Tends to be that way.
Did I hear that Katie Hobbs is also under investigation now too, or did I dream?
No. Cartel Hobbs? I mean,
Katie she now did take money from a terrorist organization to become governor of Arizona.
Ooh.
So I'm pretty sure that's kind of frowned upon.
Well, you know, between my dreams and the reality, like Christmas Day, I do get a little muddled every once in a while. So.
Somebody wake him up. I'm just saying.
Oh, I'm awake. But there's just so much good stuff happening. I have to keep pitching myself.
She's been awake for 2+ years. Right?
Exactly. And it's aged me like 10. What's up, Jeff?
Hey, what's going on, guys? I was just listening to you. And I promise you, Jen, for what you guys had to go through, every person that's involved with that and the 50 agents that were involved, as Dan Bongino said, are all going to face heavy-duty charges. And all of those criminals that have controlled the Justice Department, that have infiltrated the presidential, the executive, and the legislative branches of our government are over. And anybody that would do the things that they've done to you guys, they're going to pay a heavy duty price. And all the stops are being pulled out. The drug traffickers, the human traffickers, the people have sold us out to China. We're all coming together. And I think that we're going to make a final swoop to get Canada on board. I was in a conversation with the Canadians last night, and I think that we're very, very close to a deal with them. Not so much Mexico. Mexico seems like a lot less friendly to us, even though we do more business with them. But the Canadians are like our brothers and sisters, and I think that we're going to come to a solution here pretty quick. And they're going to pay, Jennifer. I promise you that, on my mom's grave. You guys are coming up to take over, and we're here to help transition the power from the old guard to the new guard. And it's my joyful hope and optimistic view that you guys are going to be coming into power to run this country very soon, and then we'll have a new American first leadership. And I just want to tell you how grateful I am to you guys, and just to let you know that we have your back 100,000%. And thank you for what you guys are doing. I love y'all. Adam, I appreciate all of you. Chris, Kimmy, all of you guys. Y'all are the best. Thank you. And you too, Matt and Southern, of course, I appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Jeff. I love a good, pep talk there. Makes me feel good on a Monday. All right, so I do want to let's get to 999.9 something, and then I want to switch topics just a little bit.
Thank you, sister, very much. I love you all very much. My beautiful Americans. It's so, I came into this space and I was going to just dynamite the whole thing and just blow it up, coming against you guys, for not holding our side accountable. And I just jumped into the space, and all of a sudden you guys are just like, yup. I mean, we're not the Democrats. We are not the left. We pull back on our own without a problem. And the principles that America was founded and built on, right, are very, very sacred and holy, and we will do whatever it takes to defend those. And I just wanted to say, I wanted to say that America is very unique. We're a very unique people on this planet, and to board up Canada, right, as far as a 51st state kind of a thing, what you're doing is you're diluting us. That's what you're doing, and you're adding a bunch of. And I love my Canadian brothers and sisters. My best friend is Canadian. What we're going to do is, because most Canadians are cucked, and we all know it, so we don't want them in our pool. And it's not anything against Canada, because Canada is amazing by itself. I mean, really, what those people have done the population size is incredible. So there's no shade on Canada, but what I wanted to say is just protect us the way we originally were. We're not a land grab state, a country in a traditional sense. This is not. We're not doing banking cartel, British Empire. We're not doing that. I just want to just put that down. But I love you all. Thank you, host, for the ability to speak. And that's it. Thank you.
Yo, 999. I agree with you on that. I think I was saying this during the trucker protest. Are we gonna have to come up there and free you guys? Or you got to stop kneeling to the crown, and they got to break off from the crown on their own. And I wouldn't mind them being a friendly, neighborly country. You want to mimic our Constitution word for word? Go for it. That would be great. And we could be great partners in North America, but that's something they're gonna have to do. Like same any other country out there in the world, that you want to be like America, you're gonna have to take the actions to become America. Get in your legislation, whatever. Get in your government, get involved, change it. like you said, that kind of
But
worries
I
me.
think that that we definitely need to help them once we've kind of gotten our stuff corrected. I don't mind them being a territory, maybe, but definitely I agree with you on the whole 51st state thing, just because it would dilute and it would cause us to get a huge influx of liberals. Even their conservatives are more liberal than our, some of our liberals. They're stuck on the whole green news scam.
All you have to do is watch South Park and see Terrence and Phillips. That's what Canadians are like. Terrence and Phillips.
They are Terrence and Phillips. Mexico, that's another story. Mexico, they're going to fall in line. The damage and the harm that country has caused to this country. And I do think that we have caused some damage to Mexico as well, right? I mean, there's definitely
sending guns.
There's been some time.
With
There's been
Eric
some
Holder.
times when we have tanked their peso like nobody's business because we wanted to punish them. So
supplying the cartel with guns that shoot up weddings in Mexico and shoot border guards, here in America isn't the best, actions to take, really.
Yeah, well, they've got a huge corruption problem in their country as well. So, I mean, I remember going down there. I was in my early 20s, and I used to go down there because I had a client down there. And I mean, they were still like smoking cigarettes in the offices. I was like, this is crazy. It was like the United States, but like 20 years prior. Very, very, very interesting culture.
Well, think about it, Kim. Eric Holder was shipping guns to what is now known as a terrorist organization, right?
Oh, yeah. He's on the bingo card.
Yeah. He was shipping guns to what is now been identified as a terrorist organization. That's Eric Holder.
You realize like our role in creating what is the cartel today, right? Like the CIA.
That's what I'm saying.
Right? Like, listen,
They're
as
like
much
the
as this
Mexican
has
Antifa.
As much as this has to do with Mexico, right? Like it's kind of not Mexico, right? Mexico's not the problem, right? It's the United Nations, right? Mexico gives them a pass to walk through their country because it just so happens to be the country in between like us and them, right? So like, yes, we need to blame Mexico, right? But like also it's not Mexicans coming here, right? It's people from Africa and people from the Middle East and Asia that like we don't even know how they afforded plane tickets to get here, right? So as much as we need to hold Mexico accountable, it's kind of holding the deep state accountable for creating what we now know as the Mexican drug cartel, just like they created Osama bin Laden by training him to do 9/11. I mean, little things like that.
Well said, Jen. 100% agree.
That was a.
Go right ahead, Jeff. You're good.
I was saying that was the Mujahideen when they were fighting the Russians in Afghanistan. That's how the Americans had hooked up with Osama bin Laden. And during that battle, the Americans had pulled out, and Osama bin Laden held a huge grudge against America for backing out on them against the Russians. And that's where that initial behavior, his vindictive behavior came from.
Jeff, he was a CIA asset named Tim Osman, and we also flew his family out the day of
the only
9/11.
plane that
Instead
took
of
off
keeping them.
after the ground stop was the bin Laden family. Okay, like
I was aware
we
of that.
did 9/11 on ourselves, guys. Like that is the gross truth of the whole situation.
I don't even know what
I
to
agree
say
with
to
you
that.
guys 100%.
I do see a couple of hands. Last Dragon, I know you had your hand up. Did you want to say something? And then we'll go to Southern and then Augusta and Matt.
It's a good. You guys pretty much covered what I wanted to speak. I'm just listening now. You guys are awesome. Love it. So go ahead.
Oh, thanks. You're awesome too. Go ahead, Southern.
Yeah, I was thinking about GOP and MAGA along Maha and the independents that came over. I think we're like a shotgun wedding with the old GOP because they try to come across like they're old money aristocrats and they look at us as the rowdy children. We're not taking it. We're not looking to sit there and drink a cocktail and suck up to lobbyists and play nice so that we keep our business in the back rooms and we can, facilitate and manage the government. And then we're a uniparty with the old Democrats. Yeah, that's got to be over. I really saw that transition when Trump was trying to affect elections around the country, like Lisa Murkowski. He did not want her, but McConnell spent a fortune in there to get her because he knew he could manage her. So this has to stop. This has to stop. The things we have in common is we want free markets, we want small government, we want a strong defense, but we live in the real world. And we're not looking to scam off the system. It should be fair play. And Trump came in very loudly as a populist, nationalist. He quite frankly didn't care about them, which was shocking to them. He did not go to them to say, how do I bridge this so that I can run and win? They did not want him because he was going to mess up their little playpen that they play in every day, because they were freaking out because they love the think tanks. They love the NGOs. They love all the military complex. They were making a fortune. I am looking at what these people are worth on the Democrats and Republicans. It's the rhino Republicans that are making much more money than Nancy Pelosi. And nobody talks about that.
That is what I'm saying, Southern, right? Like,
yeah,
everybody and everyone's like, oh, Jen is a secret Democrat. Obviously, she doesn't want. She just no. People, see, there is a difference. I live in the real world. I live in reality. Okay, yeah. I know that there's always going to be an enemy. The Democrats, they're my enemy. But when I have somebody on my own side turncoat and accept money to take down our side from the inside, that person is way more evil, way more dangerous than any Democrat walking.
Exactly. And here's the thing that we have to recognize. And I think you said this before, Jen. They need us more than we need them. They need us because we're the ones that are activating and motivating voters. Their part is just sitting there having a cocktail at the country club, hanging out with all the lobbyists. We're not doing that. We're on the ground. We live among our people. We're not coming to talk at our people. We are the people. So we're having conversations with peers, and we can have. I'm like you, Jen. I talk to a lot of moderate Democrats. We get along on a lot of stuff, and we're honest to each other. But they have beyond, and they're disenfranchised right now because they're seeing this bad behavior. And I explained to them, I go, we have it just as bad on our side. We're just slowly kicking them out. Why do you think we call them rhinos? They're only a Republican in name only. Do you know that most of them didn't even know what that meant? They never looked it up.
Well, and Southerns, can I just add one more thing to that, right? Like, listen, we still live in a country, right, where there's two parties. There's Republicans and there's Democrats. There's always going to be like two different parties. Now, whether it'll be the Democrats and Republicans the whole time, I don't know, right? But there's still going to be a this and a that, right? And the problem is that those people on the other side right now, like Southern said, are completely disenfranchised, right? And you can't kick all Democrats out, and you can't lock all Democrats up. That's crazy, right? So we have the ability right now, if they didn't commit crimes against humanity and commit crimes against our country, right? Like, they're no more American than we are, and we're no more American than they are, and we have to find a way.
Get a phone call.
Yes, you did.
It's
Hey, Doc, how you doing?
I'm doing great, fantastic. I got a drunk call last night from my girlfriend, so that was fine. I had divorce court with my ex this morning, and I just made plans to go to Palm Desert with my new friend to watch the professional tennis tournament out there for 3 days. So
I'm
life's
so
pretty good right
jelly.
now. Thanks
You're in
for
that
asking.
whole in love phase, the honeymoon
He
phase.
said the love bubble. He said the love bubble.
It's the best.
Well, so I heard from our friend Destiny, who just rounded up a 10-hour space, that because she and I are not Destiny, but my girlfriend and I are both Sagittarii. I didn't find out that the Sagittarius plural is Sagittarii, and
Yeah, I'm a Sagittarii as well.
here we go. So,
So
because,
you're a
depending
threesome?
on no, Adam's.
Adam
Adam.
has to be involved, Southern.
I'm just not down with a man with a beard. So, in
Yeah,
any
I'm
case,
sorry, I couldn't resist.
no. She said that depending upon something or something, this is Destiny talking about. I asked the question: if there are how do two Sagittarii match up? She says, if you're this degree close, then your souls originated at the core of the universe, and you'll have an amazing relationship. So, got to figure that shit out. But anyway, thanks for asking. I'm doing great.
Sorry, guys, are having problems getting people up here. So just bear with me for a second.
Kim, you got a full stage. You want me to drop down so you
I
can
could
bring
drop
Jen back
Well,
up?
I gotta bring Jen back up. So
Hey,
Here, I made the adjustment.
If someone knows, if you could talk about, I guess the statue that Dustin was involved with, Trump statue, that it didn't get.
I did
would like
not
to
get
know
a
what
phone
happened.
call. My freaking Wi-Fi.
There's Jennifer.
Right, can you guys hear me now?
yes, we can hear you.
Yes.
Okay.
You were in such a good rant too, man. That was great.
What did you hear? Hi, Doc.
Hey, Jen.
I'm just saying that, like,
You
we
were saying
still live in a
Democrats and
country.
Republicans are all Americans.
Yeah, like
regardless.
no one is, unless if you were born here, if you went to high school here, right? Like a whole bunch of us, you're no more American and have more rights to America than the next person, right? And we have to remember that. So when we're over here demanding that we get all of the things we want, right? Like, I don't know if that's like, is that fair? Right? Like at some point we have to like actually have a logical discussion about what we want for our country, and like this whole like hyper partisanship isn't going to get us anywhere. It's really not.
So that's a good thing. It's going to get back to that discussion at the state level, rather than it being in the federal level. Federal level is shrinking, and as it should be. And we'll have to handle those discussions on each state level. And that's
Well,
where
Adam, I'm just
you find that
reminding
compromise,
people,
right?
like, yes, do we have people in our country right now who need to be brought up on charges, tried, and committed for treason and all of that? Yeah, we do. Okay. But remember, Trump is only in office for a guaranteed 4 years right now. Okay. After that, it's not guaranteed that there's going to be a Republican elected. So just remember, the standards you set right now are the standards you might have to potentially live up to in the future. So like we need to keep that in mind.
Just like the precedents that they set. No one's above the law, not even a president, right? So that includes senators, that includes congressmen, that includes lobbyists, that includes.
Dude, try them all. Try them all.
Nobody's
If you
above the
committed a
law.
crime, you did it, right? But also like we need to be careful of like how far we're taking this.
They
Yep.
took it so far that they were
Yeah.
threatening our lives, and our families' lives.
Believe me, Adam, I had guns at my
I
head.
know.
I know, right? But I'm also thinking about this logically, right? And I'm like, in 4 years, right? If we go and we set tremendous standards and all of that, remember, we have to live up to those standards.
That's why we got to just stick with the law.
We need to go at this. We don't need to embellish. We don't need to bullshit. Okay, they committed erroneous crimes, heinous crimes right in the middle. So just go black and white. This is what's happening. This is what you did. This is your punishment. Move on.
But we have plenty.
I
We have
agree.
plenty of ones that have done a lot of wrong that we can make fun of and punish. So.
Yeah, but I think also too, just to spin off what Jennifer is saying is, and this is what I'm seeing right now with the judges that are trying to block Trump and Doge and Elon. These are judges who interpret the law. They're not following the constitutional law. So we have this little gambit going on right now, and they're losing. But I deep dive on their backgrounds, and they're all tied to USAID. Their spouse or another family member, or they are directly or have been in the past, which makes me feel like they're still probably part of it. They're just not public about it anymore. But I think we have to, the foundation I've learned is you start with the Constitution, and we shouldn't be interpreting laws. So if we stay on that path, then we're not going to have that pendulum swing come back at us by interpreting the law. Because the last thing we want to do is lose ground on what's been hard won. Look at what Trump went through to become president. Look what this man went through, and he didn't need to go through it. He didn't need the job. So I think we have a huge responsibility that we stay with the law. And this is why I like American Mission doing civics classes on Tuesday that everybody should come to, because we need to know what our rights are and what the law is and what our Constitution is and our Bill of Rights. We need to know this stuff because we've got to stay on that path, or we're not going to impact change. And I'll land my plane on this. All the executive orders are great. By the way, Mexico and Canada went out today with the 25% tariff. So there's going to be some more negotiation going on. So it's going to be spicy forever, I think, under his presidency. And I'm here for it all because he's moving it forward. But now we've got to get laws in place, processes in place. We're seeing this huge amount of money that goes out in our tax dollars that never goes through Congress. Now, there is no one can ever tell me that every member of Congress didn't know this was going on. And why didn't they stand up? Well, now we have a president where they can stand up. Now this is out in the domain. X is a megaphone with Elon and Doge. This is where we can impact change. And the second thing we're going to have to do well is we got to show up for the 2026 elections, and we got to make sure we're voting for the right people because we have to get the 2 more years. And I'll land my plane.
I don't think the Democrats are going to recover Southern after they imploded. And I asked the question, what Democrat would be the best? Who was the best Democrat? And the majority of the vote was John F. Kennedy. And that's 1963. That's a long time ago. And Fed Up said, oh, what about Robert F. Kennedy Jr.? And the host said, he's with Trump now. That he doesn't count. But nobody can give me one Democrat that would be a good leader. Not one. And I find that very, very disconcerting.
Well, Gavin Newsom is pretty, good looking.
He's so greasy. Yuck.
Okay,
He
but
needs to
here
resign.
we are
Terrible leader.
thinking about the Democrats. Who gives a shit about the Democrats when you have people in your own party who are taking you down?
And doing a more effective job at it.
Yeah.
We're on top of that right now with Trump, though. You know that, Jen.
I want to go after the Republicans. right? Like, go after those people. Those are the ones who continue to USAID. Those are the ones who continue to hide all of the Democrat shit, right? So you could dismantle the Democrat Party, but the problem is still going to remain because the wolf is standing next to you.
Yeah, because when we found out that a lot of the Republicans knew all of this stuff, all these impeachments, all this mess that was going on, they knew it wasn't true. And they played their role and let Trump be there by himself. And that I cannot support that person ever again. And these people need to be out of politics. And I'm talking about the Bill Barrs and the, oh God, what's his name?
As much as I like Justin Amash,
Corning
he
out of
messed up,
Texas.
and that's why he didn't get a
Karl
Trump
Rove.
endorsement in Michigan. You know, I like Justin Amash a lot, but you know, he didn't get that endorsement for that reason.
Bill Barr needs to be
Those
prosecuted.
members of Congress sat there and voted for a continuing CR over and over and over and over and over and over again, knowing that there was egregious fraud and waste going on. Okay, like, guys, this is okay at military school, right? The cadet code is a cadet will not lie, cheat, or steal or tolerate those who do, right? When you go to get in trouble at military school, right? If you sat there and you watched it happen, if you sat there and you knew it was happening and you didn't do anything about it, guess what? You got in more trouble than the people who actually committed the offense because you tolerated it. Okay? That is the standard we need to bring to the US government right now. I don't really care what y'all did. If you tolerated it, if you continued to vote, if you didn't speak up, if you didn't throw a hissy fit, if you didn't use all of the tools at your disposal, I don't care if you're on the Homeland Security Committee. I don't care if you're on the freaking Liberty Committee or whatever the hell they call it, right? I don't give a shit. Y'all tolerated it against the American people to keep your job, to keep your positions on your things they get in Congress, right? Their positions on their committees. That's the word I'm looking for, right? You did that to benefit yourself. Sorry. I'm more mad at you than the people who committed the crime. They did it, but you tolerated it.
Hey, Jen, do we have any Maha Kennedy people in the room? If so, or maybe someone else would know the answer to this question. What do you think about the fact that Bobby hasn't at least pulled the COVID shots off the market? And, you know, he could place an order or have Trump write an executive order to cease all advertising pharmaceutical products on TV.
I thought they did that.
Yeah, it's coming. It's just like I think
want to say
No,
there
they
was an
haven't done it yet.
announcement Friday night, Doc, or over
There
the
was.
weekend. They're not about that.
What was it then? I missed it.
Well, Doc, I'm kind of glad you asked me that. My hands have been tied, and I've been trying my best.
Yeah, and guys, like, listen, as much as we want them to go in like the freaking butcher and like start cutting shit, okay, like, you have to understand how intertwined everything is, right? How much bureaucracy and red tape there is just to do anything. Right. And yes, Donald Trump is still in the position, right? Yes, we have our people in the positions, right? But we can't, this isn't going to be done overnight. And I think we need to like temper back our expectations, right? Those people have so much pressure on them. And what they need is encouragement and not us out here being like, what the hell are you guys doing? You're doing nothing, right? Like, they just got a can of whoop ass like opened on these things.
Right.
People are throwing up red tape. People are throwing fits. They're having to remove people physically from buildings, right? They just caught DOD people or generals shredding shit potentially. Okay, like, I think we just need to understand what they're going through right now before we start getting up in arms. And believe me, I will be the first person out there screaming if shit isn't getting done. But we also have to understand, like, these people just got in there.
Yeah, but Jen, Pam Bondi last week said she has the complete Epstein file. She has the complete the Kennedy file and the Martin Luther King file on her desk under
Doc,
review.
I hear you.
What? Just release it. What are they freaking waiting for?
And I like Anna Paulina Luna, right?
I understand bureaucracy.
I like her a lot, but guys, we are not here for publicity stunts, okay? Like, yes, I know y'all love your camera time, right? I know y'all love your media time, okay? But I don't need you to explain shit to me. I am very capable, and guess what? If not, I got AI over here, my buddy AI. He like reads shit for me and tells me what's going on. Okay, so like, why do we need hearings? Why do we need any of it? Just release it to the public and let the cards fall where they may. Right? Like, stop trying to stall what is coming because it's still going to come. We don't need you to interpret shit for us. We're very well capable. And remember, you're only in that position because you know how to shake your ass for daddy donor to get people to vote for you. Okay. You are no more special than any of us. Okay. So like, let's remember that.
I have a theory, and don't like jump on me because I'm just throwing it out there for discussion. I think there are some very extremely powerful people in the world, not necessarily just Americans, but there are people around the world that are very rich and they have the means to do very terrible things. And so, although it'd be nice to just think that Pam Bondi is going to just release a list of names, the other side, the people on that list or affiliated with that list, also are threatening and pushing back. So I'm sure there is some very intense conversations, sidebars, whatever you want to call them, that are going on with some very powerful people that don't want that information to come out. So I don't think it's just as easy as, but I don't understand why they would even announce it. Like, why would you telegraph that, oh, we have the list, we're going to release it soon, and then a week goes by and nothing has happened?
It's just announcing your future intended failure. I mean, and it raises questions on people like myself who couldn't be more supportive of Trump and his administration. But look, you got to do what you said you were going to do. There's no legal constraints to do, as Jen was saying, and I'm suggesting, is that you can release them now. Cash Patel says he's seen the complete files, both the Kennedy and I don't know, the moon thing.
MLK.
He says, yeah, he says, release it. He's seen it.
Maybe
it makes me disappointed. I'm disappointed in Trump that this isn't getting pushed forward. I'm disappointed in Kennedy because he hasn't pulled the COVID.
Okay.
Every doctor that you ever respected.
Can I say one thing real quick?
Something easy like Benghazi. That was a long time ago now. That was 2011. So why not release something and give us a little bit now? Release the Benghazi evidence. Release the Crossfire hurricane
Hillary
evidence.
is one of those really powerful people.
Hey, hold on. Do y'all really think that we already don't have the story of what really happened?
I think it's a stall tactic. Trump's using stall tactics.
Hold on. Why are we sitting here waiting for them to release the documents if we know damn well what is in the documents? Why don't we just start talking about how we're going to handle what's about to come forward? Right? Because, Doc, I have this sneaking suspicion, like really deep down in my soul, that we already have the Epstein list. We already have it.
This is the problem. Is
the list has been alleged out there for years, right? And the poly markets are taking bets on who's on it.
We already have the list. We know who went to the Diddy parties. How are we going to handle these sick individuals?
Consequences for that conduct has to be meted out.
We have the court of public opinion. We have the court of public opinion
punish
right
people
now
for their crimes, Jennifer.
Honestly, Doc, we have no control over punishing them for their crimes.
We do. We have the FBI. We have the
boom. That's exactly the point, Doc.
Or the Treasury.
We don't control
the
exactly.
I don't get it. Yeah.
Look, Dan Bongino's coming to town. You got Cash Patel in there. They have to clean up the FBI. There is a process to this stuff. So the impatience, is patience is virtue. Just give it. You want it done right.
No, it's not.
We
In this
already
case,
have
they're
the
not doing what
list.
they said
Lyndon
they
B.
were going to
Johnson
do,
killed
and it goes to their
Kennedy.
credibility.
You need
in my
Dan
opinion.
Bongino in there. You need Cash Patel in there. They just got in there yesterday, literally today as well. And they need to
He
clean up
didn't
the
need a
FBI. That's the
deputy to do the things
investigative
that he said he was
part
going
of
to
it,
do
right?
day one.
So
You're just making
I'm
excuses
not, I'm
for
not making
non-performance.
Doc. I've been waiting 20 years for this shit, man. Trust me.
We
And it
already
still
know what
hasn't happened.
happened.
So exactly. That's the point. We
need
don't
to prove it so those who are guilty can be punished for
Okay,
their
now
crime.
Which
okay,
we
let's
have
say
no control over.
let's say they
Doc, what
release
if I
a
told
list
you
and
they've
confirm
already
it.
We have the
all
Attorney
been
General.
punished?
We have the FBI Director. We have. I mean, we
Yeah,
have
but we
everything.
can any one of us right now get on the phone with Cash Patel and be like, "Yo, you need to prosecute
No,
these
but we can
people."
advocate for
This
it.
is what I was getting
We can
to is the
advocate
process.
for it.
We
This is
know
how
it's already happened, so why don't we just advocate for it? Make specific
That's
demands
what I'm
instead
doing
of
right
just
now.
make specific demands instead of
We
just
know
going
the
ahead,
government's
release
involved.
the
We know they're
files,
involved.
release the file. We already have the files.
They're protecting their own. This is the problem.
Well, this is
And
the
it
problem.
shouldn't
You're
be
gonna
a
have
problem, because you
vigilantes
pointed
out
out,
there.
Jen,
They'd rather have
you
the
pointed out that
FBI ready
rhinos
to
are the
roll
worst.
to nab
They're
these people up
protecting
and
rhinos
put
because
them
they
through a
need to
legal
vote.
process,
It's
rather
ridiculous.
than people going
You guys think
vigilante
I can't
and doing a
understand
Luigi
anybody with everybody
Mangione.
talking at the same time. One at a time, please.
This is I was trying to get to my point here. Is basically you don't want to release this, confirm this stuff. It's already been released. It's already out there. We all know it, right? But if they confirm it, then you're going to have some Luigi
You're just repeating
Mangione
yourself
type
on what Jen
motherfuckers
said.
going out
It
there.
sounds like a narrative that you guys are pushing on.
Vigilanteism, rather than
Wait,
getting the
what
FBI in
narrative am I
order that's
pushing?
going to be able to sweep these people up and put them through
Okay,
due process.
he's saying the same thing, Jen. He's agreeing with you that you're making excuses for
I haven't
persons
made
who had
whoa. I have not made excuses
Whoa.
for anybody here.
Yeah, you are. You are saying that we need to be patient because of bureaucracy. Adam is saying that we need to be patient because we just got the
We have a
deputy
court
FBI
of
director.
public
now.
opinion and let's destroy them in it.
It doesn't mean shit. It can't punish the people responsible.
And how do we properly punish them? Legally.
You charge them with a crime.
And who
They've had 4
investigates
years
that?
planning this.
I charge
FBI?
Lyndon B. Johnson with a crime right now.
Look, let's not pretend
But
that you
Doc,
and
you know
I
the
are
legal
the same as
process.
persons who have been
The AG
elected,
Order in the
indicts,
court.
the FBI
and
Order in the
have
court.
the power now.
Kim,
Adam, we're talking over
use
me.
the mute
These
button,
people
Kim.
have.
Wait, why do I have to
Holy
push the
shit.
button?
Yo.
Everybody slow
Doc.
down. Slow down.
Okay, just let Doc talk for a minute. Doc, go ahead.
He left because you hit the mute button. But I mean, you guys, dude,
Are
Doc, you gotta
fucking
kind of follow
kidding
your own
me?
example.
Like,
He did. That's all right. It's okay. Listen, I understand his frustrations. We all have those frustrations. There's nothing we can do about it. And
no, this
arguing
is
about
fucking
it.
bullshit because he's sitting here making accusations, then he runs like a little bitch away. Like, what are you doing?
He wasn't prepared for Jen on a Monday. All right, let's get to the hands, and then I do want to switch the topic a little bit to talk about.
I am
You
not
all
making
really don't
excuses
understand
for
who he is yet, guys. Damn, wake up.
Oh my god. I am so sick and tired of playing the secret fucking spy game.
Well, guess what? He drops in, he drops out,
He's a
he causes
Mossad
chaos. Believe me, I ain't into it anymore. Sorry. I'm glad we were having a basic, cool conversation, right?
But I'm not going to sit here and discuss people, right? Like, I'm
No,
so
I'm not
over
either.
it.
Sorry.
And then I'm tired of fucking sitting here saying, like, being like, oh, well, you know, like that you're making excuses. I am so tired of the freaking accusations
Exactly.
that
He
people
knows how to
throw
trigger
around.
you. He knows how to trigger you.
Exactly.
No,
I just
it's
want
not
it done
about
right.
fucking triggering. It's the fact that, like, so we cannot demand that they bring charges. If they release the documents right now, everybody's going to start complaining that they're not bringing the charges fast enough.
And they're not ready for that yet.
You think every double agent type person in the government right now is still like is all out, that it's magically all cleaned up from all the dirty people? No, Of course not. You got to go in there and clean the investigative part, which is the FBI. They're just getting in the door, Patel and Dan Bongino. You got to clean that up. Pam Bondi will
It's
hand
not
out the
even the
indictment,
argument,
and then they'll
Adam.
investigate the
Right?
indictment
If
and
you
bring up
don't
the charges.
understand that, you've obviously haven't been around for more than a minute. Right? Because like if anybody thinks that the government just snaps your fingers and everything magically moves, like no.
That's
And don't
right.
you think
That's
that
right. There's prep
they've
work.
set up like booby traps and like fail safes?
Did you forget who
and
we're
shit?
dealing with,
Like
people?
literally,
You know,
talking
like,
about you, Adam.
like what are we doing
No, I'm
here?
not talking to Jen. I'm just talking in general. Like, did you guys forget who we're dealing with? You
No,
know, like-
it's the same shit. Okay, you have Elon and Donald out there freaking putting their asses on the line for us. Okay, they are doing everything that you've asked, but they might not be doing it on your timeline.
So are
okay?
you, Jen. You're doing just as much as them. We all are. And we
No,
appreciate that.
I
No,
would never.
I'm
Well,
telling
thank
you,
you, Jeff.
you
but
are.
I would never
No,
take
you
that
are.
credit. Well, I appreciate that, right? But like, why are we sitting here questioning the people who are putting their asses on the line?
We're
for us?
not. Doc
Why
was.
are we undermining them?
We're not.
It's
Doc
not
was.
just Doc. It's not just Doc.
It's not just
literally,
Doc. It's a lot of
is like
people
a
are impatient.
chorus of really impatient people. Right. And these
I do
people
have an
are like,
unpopular
oh,
opinion,
I'm
Jen.
Christian. So like, is God answering your prayers faster than he's answering mine? Because like I have some outstanding prayers I'm still waiting for. So if you know the 411 to make God move faster, like, and if not, then y'all should be more patient.
I'm not a big fan of Dan Bongino being where he's at, honestly.
Oh, Pepe. No, it's not your turn. Just wait.
And
just a
here
minute.
comes the nuclear bomb.
Listen, I want to get to the hands.
Well, I'm
You
just
guys,
saying. I'm just saying he was
Pepe,
special. He's special.
Matt, and then Carla, and then Southern, and then Jeff, and then Mary. I can't hear Matt.
I was going to drop down because I thought I couldn't hear him.
All right. Well, Matt, we can't hear you. Drop down and come back up, and I'll get you back up there. Carla, go ahead while we get Matt squared away.
All right, thanks. I just want to jump on and just thank Jen for saying exactly the way I'm feeling. I'm so freaking frustrated at the Republicans who don't do anything but sit on their ass. And then when here in Illinois, the Republican Party is imploding because it needs to implode. We have so many people just, I don't know why they're in the position other than they must be getting some kind of kickback. And something that I have never heard before, and maybe it's because I'm new into this politic thing, is now we're being accused of breaking the 11th Amendment, Ronald Reagan's 11th Amendment, about talking bad about fellow Republicans. I don't even know how to respond to that.
Oh my God. Everybody needs to take this Reagan bullshit and shove it up your ass, okay?
Oh my
because
gosh, I
that
so
man
do.
did not walk on water. He is not Jesus Christ. And you know what? He did amnesty, okay? And everybody has these rosy colored glasses on saying, oh, remember Ronald Reagan?
Tripled
okay,
our national debt.
Okay, listen to me. If I can't speak
Lost
bad
California
about a
for 3
fellow
decades.
Republican, let me inform you of something. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a conservative. I'm a MAGA supporter. Okay. There is a huge difference. Okay. So you could take your Republican title, you can take your conservative title, and you can keep it. And I'm going to sit here and continue to talk shit about you until you walk the line and actually do your job. So if you have a problem with it, DMs are open.
Exactly. Thank you. I just needed to get that off my chest because I was so pissed off when they threw that at me. I couldn't believe it. I said, we're not even allowed to question what you're doing when you're not doing anything.
Yeah, this is how they've gotten away with it, Carla, is that you,
Ugh.
like back in the day, in like 2012, like it was a huge deal if you were like questioning what the Republicans were doing. Like, how dare you question your fellow Republican? Like, what?
They hated us libertarians, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, they did. They hated anybody who
Tea Party?
dared.
Oh my God.
They hated it, Adam. They hated anybody who dared demand Republicans behave like actual Republicans.
Right?
They hated y'all because, like I said
We're
earlier,
more
they hate us
constitutionally
more than they
bound
hate
than
the
they were.
Democrats.
Meanwhile, they're taking all this Coke money and they're like, yeah, we're Republicans. We love David Koch, the one who is manipulating the immigration laws to get the cheap labor in to work in his factories. That David Koch?
Right. And this is what's been said for years about the immigration issue. Do not do another amnesty because the Republican Party's donor class are the ones who benefit from it, not you and I. And if you do another amnesty like Ronald Reagan did, by the way, 1986 was the same year that that pharma companies got immune from vaccines as well. Don't forget that. If you do another amnesty, you will turn Texas blue, and Democrats will have a death grip on the Electoral College, which would permanently give them a governing majority and impale every issue you care about as a conservative, or whatever we're calling ourselves these days.
You know why there is an immigration issue in this country? It's not the Democrats. It's the Republicans and their love of cheap labor to work in their factories. It's the Republicans. So you know why I have such like a weird stance on the immigration thing and like hiring cheap labor? Start jailing them. Start jailing the American businessman who hires an illegal worker and watch how fast that problem dries up.
And deport anybody who's committed further crimes other than crossing the border illegally.
No. Whoa. No. If you cross If you cross that border illegally, you're out. I don't give a shit what your sad sob story is. You committed a crime by crossing our border illegally. Not my problem. Not my problem.
Uniparty. That's the correction, Jen. It's uniparty.
Correct.
You know, Jed, when you said Coke money, I thought you were talking about the money that came over on Obama's boat, Our Lady Peace.
Hey,
No,
to be
yeah.
fair, Hunter did do crack in the White House.
No, the Libertarian Party, that's kind of interesting. The Coke money came into the Libertarian Party, and they ended up, you saw it kind of trending left. You ended up with that freak Oliver whatever, that wanted to push transgender ideology in schools as well. As their candidate,
You don't think the Republicans do Coke?
Yeah, they definitely do.
I do.
They were on Wall Street, weren't
Jen,
they?
that's well played.
You don't think the Republicans frequent the cocaine and hooker parties in D.C.?
They throw the cocaine and hooker parties.
Madison Cawthorn said as much when he was in Congress.
Yes, he did. That's why he was out.
I tried to snort Coke once, and I got an ice cube stuck in my nose.
I bet you that was a Republican behind that person on the Senate floor that was bent over the table.
All right.
Right, listen, we let the Republicans get away with murder for exactly what Carla said. The 11th Amendment of thou shall not talk bad about your fellow Republican.
Well, tomorrow night we're going to be going through the Bill of Rights and the other amendments. So I definitely want to go check into that because that's a bunch of bullshit.
No, Kim, there is that.
Exactly.
It doesn't exist.
Yeah, exactly.
It's that social order that I'm talking about, that I've been talking about for the last little while.
Yes.
Right? It's this unspoken little thing that it's this set of rules that are okay, these might not be written, but we also follow these ruls.
I don't usually bet, but I'll bet $5. I'll Venmo it if I'm wrong if we find out that the person was bent over, had the person bent over the Senate table was a Republican. If you want to bet Democrat, I'll take anybody up on that bet. I bet you it's a Republican.
I'm willing to bet. I'm not betting money because I'm not.
Yeah, I'm not a
man,
betting
but
man
I'd say
either. But I'll bet on this.
Okay, and I just want to point one thing out, just to be fair, for fair's sake. Okay, no one should be having sex in the Capitol or bending anybody over, whether it's male, female, male, dog. I don't give a shit what it is. Okay, no one's supposed to be having sex in the Capitol building. Okay?
It's called desecrating the halls.
Okay. I really don't care that it's two men. What I care about is the fact they're having sex in the Capitol building.
Yeah, but I'm
On
just
my
trying to bet
tax
somebody
dollars too, no less.
that it's a Republican. A friendly bet.
Hey, I want to welcome all the people listening on X Live, QOX TV, Rumble, Pilled, and YouTube. We're glad you're here with us. We're having a spirited discussion at Manic Monday. Thanks for listening. Everyone retweet the space.
I got
Thanks,
my
Commander.
popcorn, Commander. I brought my popcorn.
All right, so let's finish getting to these hands because I do want to bring Cyber Patriot back up here because I do want to get to this Del Big Tree video and have some discussion about the COVID shots and stuff like that. And it plays right into what we've been talking about. So go ahead, Rose, and then we'll go to Southern, and then we'll play that clip.
Hey, glad to join y'all for the live discussion. Good day, Jen and Adam and all the good peeps in the room. I just want to say, if you do not have an appreciation for what the hell's going on right now on Capitol Hill, boy, fire! Fire! I love it. I love it. Keep it coming, and keep in mind, we've only been in for 4 weeks, a month. This is the setup time. It's the blast, demolition derby, come at them with all guns firing, and they don't know what to do.
We're gonna start turning on each other real quick.
I just like what I'm seeing. I just like what I'm seeing, and the rats will rise to the floating top with their bellies and little paws floating in the air.
Speaking of pauses, I've actually been enjoying this slight pause, right? Like, because
yes,
we got to catch up to what has already happened.
Well, yeah, my oxygen deficit is quite high. I've been having to, do a little respirator action, but no, it's remarkable. It's just remarkable, and I say at this point. They know exactly what they're doing. And if there's any complainers, and what Jennifer was saying, it's like, where are you coming from, man? Like, are you serious? What more could you possibly want to happen at this moment 1 month in? 1 month. That's 30 days. It's incredible. So I find it fascinating. I find all the geopolitical stuff fascinating with Europe and with Canada and Mexico. Mexico's run by a flaming Marxist, socialist. I mean, we're talking, she's like a maniac. So,
and she's tied in with the cartels.
Well, that too, but I'm just saying, it's not exactly like your regular Mexican president that we've had in the past.
She's definitely special.
She is like a whole other level of scary shit. So anyway, so I'm totally with Jen. It's like, stop with the purity tests. Enough. I view it as anyone who is fair game, regardless of party, is, when they get all their chips together, right? Put all the pieces together, it's called law, folks. It's called evidence. You can't put on, hello. It's called investigations. They've been rapidly cleaning house, but
you sound like you get it.
Yeah, I get it entirely. And the
come
thing
on
is,
now.
The
We want
thing
it done
is
properly.
that, we're not even in the patience is a virtue period yet. If it was 1 year down the road and nothing happened, then I'd be really concerned, right? We're heading into the midterms. We're, everything, literally, I think we've lived a year in a month. Totally. I mean, that is the best analogy. A year.
They certainly got more done in the last 4 weeks than they have in the previous 4 years.
I mean, and all you're doing by going out and complaining is giving the Democrats fodder against us.
That's
right?
exactly
To go
right.
out
We'd
and
say in
write
the country.
articles and be like, oh, look, MAGA is peeling away from Donald Trump. MAGA is standing up to Donald Trump, right? Like, and then they write those stories. And yes, those stories actually do still affect people, right? As much as we want to believe that it doesn't, it does, right? So, like, just shut up. Just shut up, please.
There's a
Do us
lot of
all a
people
favor.
being
Be
exposed to
quiet and just let people like get in there and realize what's happening. And like I said, another month from now, if nothing happened, then we could start getting angry, okay? But like, you're doing nobody any favors by sitting here and bitching because it's not being done fast enough.
It's a ludicrous statement on its face. And also, you have to let the people absorb this. I mean, there are
The general public.
oceans of people who are getting hit with a brutal reality that they really had we knew because
That's what I was
Guys,
saying.
our
It's
parents.
nice to
Go ahead, Kim.
it's nice to like have a slight reprieve, right? Because we knew, right, that if you think about the people who are just coming to the realization that, oh shit, those rumblings of those tinfoil hat people were right. It's a lot to process, and you can't be as effective if you don't allow for space and time to process that stuff. And Adam, please, I sent Cyber Patriot invite. Please bring him.
Hey,
up
your
to the
stage is full.
Well, I
right.
tried to
I clicked join as speaker. It just sent it to me again.
Guys, our
I'll
parents.
jump down. I'll jump down. I've got to head to a volleyball game. Thanks for letting me rant.
I can jump down also.
Our parents.
No need. Jeff is always the gentleman, and he dropped down as soon as Adam said something.
Okay, our parents, right, have lived under the like whole scenario this whole time that JFK was killed by Lee Harvey Oswald or like Jack Ruby, one of the two, right? Then their whole lives were shaped around the fact that the president got murdered, right? And then you have the Cold War, right? All lie, right? Then you have 9/11, all lie, right? There are sectors of our population that are just now realizing that it wasn't just the 2020 election, right? It wasn't just like there was no weapons of mass destruction, right? Their whole lives have been a lie, right? Because when they killed what's his name, the guy who took over for Kennedy, Lyndon B. Johnson, right? When he took over, that was a sign that the intelligence agencies and the Bushes, right? We're always talking about the Bush dynasty, right? This was really the start of the Bush dynasty. And what did that lead to? 9/11 and the Patriot Act, which is what we are living under right now. Right?
A new
The
world
2020
order.
election, the Clintons, the Bushes, the Obamas, Benghazi, right? All of that shit has been an entire lie that started with the Kennedy files, right? So this has to be a process because our country is about to come to a realization right now that like it wasn't the 2020 election that was stolen. It was actually the what happened in 1963, and 2020 was actually the last throes. It was the death throes of that order trying to hold on to the last remnants of power by putting a Biden in there, using him as a puppet, and the hopes that they were going to win the 2024 election or they were going to die. And guess what? They died. Right? So like it's not just the files. It's not just realizing we've been lied to. The whole order of how our country was run is actually being completely upheaved. And no one wants to admit that, but that's what's happening.
The entire global schism is being deconstructed in terms of how things function.
Yeah.
And there are fights to be had still. And you see what Europe is doing with Ukraine. It's the last bastion because that's the center of that order is Europe. And They are in a corner beyond corners. If we manage to extract ourselves, the entire military complex, the entire just order of things in terms of finance globally, the impact is astronomical. And that's why Trump is saying to Canada, hey, listen, man, either you're with them or you're with us. We share a border. Let's go. Or you're on your own and we will treat you just like them, which means the ball game is changing big time. The order is changing. And when they said all the time about Ukraine, if we lose Ukraine, the world, the order of the world will be completely changed. What that meant was if Trump comes to power again, we're screwed. And that's what's going on.
I think that we have much bigger things to be concerned about. And, you all are just pontificating about unimportant bullshit because, the bottom line is really we have to overcome flat Earth. That's what we really have to deal with.
Mr. Philby, I knew you were going to say something.
Flat Earth. He was sounding so serious.
Chris, the moon landing was fake.
And
the moon's made of cheese,
exist.
Chris.
Antarctica just doesn't
truly
exist.
is made of Swiss.
Jen, that's not funny.
It's hilarious.
This is the firmament calling out.
Well, you weren't a 10-year-old child watching the moon landing at 1 o'clock.
With hope in your
I believed in
eyes.
Santa when I was a kid too.
I would encourage every single one of everybody in this room to go watch the actual video of like the moon landing and the video and tell me that shit is not fake.
It's called A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Moon. And it's
a funny thing happened on the way to your TV.
From Hollywood to your TV set.
Back in the 60s, we didn't have X to enlighten us. And
well, I mean, you guys were just getting used to it, TV. Before that, it was radio.
And you weren't even born yet, Jen. So how would I have somebody?
Chris, it's called programming for a reason.
To be fair, in the 60s, they were all tripping on acid.
I was watching in a grade school in a chair in the auditorium on a black and white tiny little TV that we couldn't see. Okay, that was our extent.
No, guys, listen. Rose, you just made me think of something that really, really, really bothers me. Right?
I had a color TV, but it was in black and white. So.
Okay, so why on 9/11, right? Did schools all over the country bring us out of class into like the auditorium or the library in front of the TV in time to watch the second plane live on television hit? Because like, if you think about it, it's not unusual, right? I mean, it's kind of unusual, but not really, for planes to hit buildings, right? How did they know to get everybody in front of the TV? Why was it such a big deal that a plane hit the World Trade Center? Like, why? Like, do you see what I'm trying to say with that? Like, it doesn't make sense that everybody was pulled out of class to watch a random plane hit a random building in New York City, right? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. They wanted us all there for the collective trauma of watching that second plane hit.
Jen, they live on collective trauma, don't they?
Hologram.
They love collective trauma. And then you think about what happened in July, right? Everybody was there. Everybody was broadcasting, baby. Let's do the collective trauma. That
didn't happen.
COVID.
Dude, that was traumatic. I still have never gone back and listened to it. I really want to, but I cannot bring myself to go back and listen to that space with Diligent because like, I freaked out. I was like, "Where's Donald? Where's Donald?"
Yo, I was screaming to my neighborhood. My neighbors probably thought I was nuts. I was like, "Motherfuckers!" Just like.
Oh, my husband and I were actually watching it, which was even more traumatic, actually. But it truly is amazing that the audience, the people in the bleachers, did not
nobody
move.
would believe the eyewitnesses.
Because Rose, like those people, right? Everybody, like I
They
get
knew.
100%.
No, they knew. It's like, we
Not
want to
even
get
that
them.
they knew. It wasn't that they knew, right? It was that, first of all credit to God, right? Obviously, God made those people stand there. But also, I think it was that those people, right? We think about going into it, how many times they were bringing up, they're going to assassinate Trump. They're going to assassinate Trump all the time. And then those people were prepared and they were looking for the motherfucker. They're like, where is he? Let's tear him apart limb for limb right here. Let's do this, right? That's what I was thinking what was happening.
It's exactly
right?
what
Is
was
that,
going
like,
on. Is exactly.
They were ready to tear somebody apart limb for limb. If Trump hadn't got up and put his fist in the air and yelled fight, I totally think that situation would have went completely differently had Trump not shown that bravery in that moment.
The timeline
I totally
shifted.
agree.
The timeline shifted at that moment. We're on this different plane. It's friggin' great.
Absolutely. All right, let's get some more hands. Southern and then Matt.
Hey, just to go back a little bit, I heard somebody say the other day that this was the fastest confirmations for a president. I went back and looked. It is. It's been one
Really?
That
freaking
was
month.
Trump. That was Trump who said that.
Yeah.
That's
That's
literally
feedback.
what I'm saying,
Yeah,
people. Like, I think
1
everybody
month.
has a distorted view of how shit actually works.
I thought
Yeah.
Obama got his put through like right away.
No.
Okay, that's the only one that somebody had referenced.
First of all, it's 4 weeks. I went back and looked. Most of them were over 2 to 3 months. So people are getting used to these little quickie moments, and then they're getting the McDonald's drive-through mentality. Now. But we have to remember, Cash Patel just got in, over the weekend? And Dan Bongino is today. They've already cleared out people out of the FBI who were fired. They still have paper to go through. They're just getting in the office. I think Cash Patel's first day was Saturday in the office, getting things moving. He already had plans, obviously, coming in, but they need a hot minute. But
he's the investigative part, right?
Yeah, but
so you need that, right?
Yeah, but here's the problem. Remember when they said they found the documents they had for JFK? Well, they found 14,000 more. So there's still documents in there, and most of them are redacted. So it's going to take time to go through it, and they got to come out correct on this. They can't go, oops, we found more information. This is really what happened. They've got to be correct when it comes out. That's why it's going through that subcommittee, so they can manage it, because we all have expectations. And then we've got, like we always say, the people who are not awake, they're going to be hearing this. It's going to be jarring because they don't have any preamble of information. They always said, oh, no, it's this, therefore it is that. They've never questioned it. So they need a hot minute to catch up.
But Southern, you have a generation that is still alive, who was alive when all that went. I mean,
me.
So so you have. I wasn't, unfortunately, but I'm saying, like, my parents. Well, my mom is still alive, but even a little younger. You have to kind of wrap your heads that these people, they grew up in a time of complete innocence, and they have to roll this out really, like, everybody's complaining, why do we need a committee? It's like, the stuff that they're going to bring up is going to be shattering to a lot. And we're not just talking about JFK files. I mean, we're talking about some stuff that it's going to get sticky, for people to kind of wrap their heads around.
Your tax dollars were funding trafficking of children and stuff like that.
No, we're going to
come out and say it.
We're going to have to redefine science.
Oh, by the way, guys, I read one of the clinical reports today. The study came out on the vaccine, just on flu vaccines for senior citizens. They increased the numbers of seniors taking flu vaccines. Guess what? The death rate went down. I'm sorry, the death rate grew.
Yeah, and did you hear what their solution was?
Because
That they were gonna give more vaccines to younger people who are around older people, so then maybe they won't get sick.
Yeah.
No, hold on.
No.
They actually, what they did is they combined the flu shot with the COVID shot since nobody was taking the COVID shot.
Yeah, because the vaccine hesitancy is so high, and it's
Right,
it should
but that's
be.
what they
It
want to
should
do. They
be.
want to.
But
They want to
here's
require more children to get it.
Yeah, I can tell you right now that
That's why Doc is like
I
so
take care of
concerned.
an elderly person. And
Go ahead, Chris.
I went into Kaiser, okay, and so I capitulated on the flu vaccine just to get them off my ass because they kept pushing shingles and COVID and all this other shit. And they said, "Well, how many COVID shots has she had?" And I said, 2, the original 2. Well, how come she hasn't had a booster since? And I said, because I'm not going to let you kill her. And if you want to give her a booster, you can give her Novavax, but you all don't carry that because it's the one that doesn't kill people. So I'm telling you right now that if you have an elderly person in your life or somebody that you need to advocate for, you had damn well better be with them at their appointments because they are pushing this shit out the door. They got COVID vaccines that are expiring, and they're doing anything they can to get rid of that shit. And it's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
I took the 2 Johnson & Johnsons because it didn't have mRNA. The Catholic Church wasn't happy about that, but Pope said, "Hey, do what you got to do." So I did, and I have no regrets.
Yeah.
But it's insanity that the senior citizen population has to be subjected to. I mean, what is it? What Southern would probably know this, but I think it's somewhere around 30% efficacy for this year's flu vaccine, if that.
Well, what it is, and this is how American doctors, research, and everybody, they look at the flu, because either the flu vaccine that you get is either what they call a tri or a quad. You either get 3 strains or 4 strains. Therefore, if you get 4, you're getting a little less. But if you look at Australia, what their flu season is and which flus, then multiply it per capita of our country, we can pretty much tell what strains are impacting inside the United States. But I quit taking flu vaccines, pneumonia vaccines. I will never take another one, ever. I was in a meeting with Pfizer, and I heard a vice president said, "We still can't prove these vaccines work. We don't think they work." But they're an opportunity to inoculate for at high risk patients. My issue right now is the hepatitis B shot on a 1 or 2 day old baby. That has to stop.
Southern, we're going to get to that in just a second. I've got a clip for that.
Sorry.
Yeah, please. Matt, go, and then we'll get to that clip because I want
Kim,
you
I gotta
guys to hear.
Go
Okay.
ahead, get to the clip, Kim.
No, I mean, we do always, but no.
All right. Call me after.
Go ahead, see you, Jen. Always good to see you, sister.
Bye, guys.
Bye, Jen.
Bye.
Have a good day.
Bye.
Southern,
Good day, Jen.
Southern, you want to practice some co-hosting again?
Yeah, get her in there. Real quick, I see Epstein is trending on top of the list there for trending on X. So
Yeah, Marsha Washburn just put it out. I want this.
No, some idiot actually is like, "Oh, forget the Epstein list. Want to know about the Mar-a-Lago documents case?" Like, what? What is wrong with you? Shut up.
Kim, I was just gonna say, could you if you could get to that clip? I'm kind of anxious to see what it is.
It's so good. Go, Adam. Are you ready?
Sudden
And everyone
and
has to
unexpected.
retweet the space, and she'll play, or
Yes.
Adam will play the clip.
Yes, retweet the space, and I'll do it.
It's the Dell Bigtree clip.
Dell Bigtree?
He's the guy with the curly gray hair.
Okay. Oh, right. I don't know. Is that? What is that? Someone needs to mute their mic. Yeah, you're letting something rip.
I just got rid of him.
Thank you. Nonsense.
That was low vibration kind of shit.
Energy. Yeah, low T energy.
It sounded like a razor.
Like they were making like.
I immediately go straight to the nest to make sure there's no poop porn in there.
Oh, good job. Good job. We haven't seen that in a long while. Thank God.
That is just Let's not.
I'm having flashback horrors right now. So yeah, I DM'd you, Kim. You sent me one video here. It's a gray-haired guy, Maha Sign. Is that it?
Yeah.
Happy. Okay, that's the one that's sudden and unexpected. Okay, cool, perfect.
Yes.
I'll go ahead and play that right now.
Let me get back to hepatitis B. Not only is hepatitis B a sexually transmitted disease or shared by heroin users, so there's no reason a day one old baby should have to get it. Let me show you, I got it blown up for myself so I could actually read it. You can go to FDA approved vaccines, just Google it, and every single vaccine in our program pops up. This is how easy your investigation can begin. If you decide to be brave enough to do the investigation. And then click on whatever vaccine on the childhood schedule you're curious about, and then open up the vaccine insert. 6.1 every single time. This is how this works. At 6.1, the clinical trial experience is written down. This is what they're telling you they did to prove the safety of a vaccine. There's only one way to prove safety, by the way. You have to have a safety baseline. In high school, you should have learned about the double-blind placebo trial. You have to have one group getting the product and one group getting a placebo that doesn't affect the human body in any way. And then we have them both. We track them, usually for years when it comes to cancer drugs. And it doesn't matter if you're dying of cancer. We're not going to let you trial that drug until we've proven it safe. Years we follow that. How long did we follow the hepatitis B vaccine trial group? It says right here, 6.1 clinical trials. In 3 clinical studies, 434 doses of Recombavax HB, you can look that one up, 5 micrograms were administered to 147 healthy infants and children up to 10 years of age, who were monitored for 5 days after each dose. Injection site reactions and systemic adverse reaction were reported 5 days. A 5-day safety trial with no placebo group. Look it up, it's there. Not misinformation, written by the drug manufacturer. I could do this with every single vaccine. Because of Donald Trump, we had a meeting at the NIH that I went to with Robert Kennedy Jr. when he was first president. And we said, why in all of these can we not find a single placebo trial of any of the childhood vaccines? Are you not doing placebo trials and establishing safety the way every other drug is established? Or are you just not publishing those trials? There was silence in the room, and finally Tony Fauci admitted, we don't do placebo trials on vaccines because it would be unethical. Unethical. For a vaccine like Gardasil, the first time they were going to try and deal with cancer, the vaccine, they had a belief that it was safe because they never did a proper placebo trial to test if it was. We just had an RSV vaccine just a couple of months ago, by the way, that finally had a saline placebo trial, and they stopped it because babies were getting sick, and it was clear that the vaccine was hurting children. Is that just because it was the first placebo-based trial we'd ever seen in a childhood vaccine? And let me say this unequivocally, If I ever see you write in your paper that the experts say a placebo trial was done, then you better print it in that article, and I've said that to all of you. And send it to me and Robert Kennedy Jr., because at the NIH, Tony Fauci and Francis Collins admitted we don't do them. So what does that mean? What does that mean for the safety of our babies and our children? A day one old baby is getting a product that we only cared to test for 5 days. Does a healthy child not deserve better than that? Because a cancer patient does. Our grandparents get products that are against placebo for years. Why are our babies not mattering? And by the way, America has the highest rate of first-day baby deaths in the industrialized world, reported by CBS. Is that caused by hepatitis B? I don't know. Is it caused by bad hospitals? Are we a third world nation? Do we not know how to treat a day one old baby? Robert Kennedy Jr. is about to start having investigations into these horrible stats. And for anyone that says there's no such thing as vaccine injury, that's curious, because written right here in 6.2, since you only did a 5-day safety trial, we are left with the post-marketing surveillance. I'd point out nervous system disorders for hepatitis B given to a day one old baby. Guillain-Barré syndrome, that's paralysis. And by the way, prior to a polio vaccine, that would have been called poliomyelitis. Paralysis still exists. It's still happening. Now it's a side effect of vaccination. Multiple sclerosis, exacerbation of multiple sclerosis, myelitis, including transverse myelitis, all paralytic diseases written here as being caused by a vaccination. Now you could say how many, but is that the only question? Do we actually live in a country where we're going to allow this to happen to anybody, especially a day one old baby? Let me continue. Seizures, febrile seizures, peripheral neuropathy, Bell's palsy, radiculopathy, herpes zoster, migraine, muscle weakness, hyperthesia, and encephalitis, brain swelling. Open up every one of these vaccines in the childhood schedule, and you will find encephalitis, a brain swelling event. Is it that shocking, really? Since the vaccine is designed to cause an inflammatory event to get your immune system to kick into gear. That's why they put neurotoxins like aluminum in the vaccine, so it will incite your immune system to swell your body. And if you're unfortunate enough that that swelling happens in your brain, now you're at risk of the symptoms and side effects of a brain swelling event, which, yes, can be autism. It can be Tourette's. It can be ADD, ADHD. This is science, folks. It's not misinformation. Now, is vaccines the only thing that could maybe contribute to autism, which, as has been pointed out, has gone from 1 in 20,000 to 1 in 36? It's more prevalent in boys, so we're talking now 1 in 22 to 1 in 18 boys. Why aren't you writing about this? Is this not an epidemic of disastrous proportions? Is it that hard to understand the science? Do you have to have a medical degree to say that a brain swelling event that is written in the side effects here couldn't possibly lead to a neurological disorder? Certainly you're all smarter than that. But you are the ones that have been gaslighting hundreds of thousands of parents that witnessed with their own eyes vaccine injury. You were the reason no doctor ever learns how to fix vaccine injury. We know how to handle a drug overdose because we can talk about that. And the doctors that do investigate how to possibly reverse transverse myelitis or Guillain-Barré syndrome the moment it's happening, a brain swelling event, you were ridiculing them. You were supporting a medical establishment that attacks that doctor for daring to say vaccines cause injury. You are a part of the greatest lie any modern society has ever told. How do you feel? Do you really believe? Is there something in you that has you saying vaccines, that he's wrong? Vaccines don't cause injury. You're only going to sit in two places. Either it's real, but it's rare, and I don't care about those babies. They don't matter. The greater good is all that matters. Or you're going to live in a completely blind place, which is it doesn't matter. That's written on every single one of these things. I believe somehow the pharmaceutical industry has made a product that has no side effects. Good luck with that. The world just changed today. Now you'll have to decide whether you want to report on real science, because that is what you're about to see.
Let's fucking go.
I know, right?
Dude just laid it down.
Kim,
Like, he laid it down hardcore on them.
What's his name? Is this Dr.
Del Bigtree.
Who?
Del Bigtree.
Okay. He reminds me of another doctor who speaks that way. Wow.
Yeah, no, he's awesome. He was part of Senator Ron Johnson's roundtable. If you guys haven't checked that out,
I remember him now.
That's
Yeah.
it. That's
Hey,
it.
Kim.
That's it. That's
I got something here you might want to listen to.
Is it a whistle?
It's
Clearly a wind chime, Adam.
Yeah. I mean, this is Dr. David Martin. It's the short
love
version.
him.
Short version.
Most of you don't know that coronavirus as a model of a pathogen was isolated in 1965. Coronavirus was identified in 1965 as one of the first infectious, replicatable viral models that could be used to modify a series of other experiences of the human condition. It was isolated once upon a time associated with the common cold. But what's particularly interesting about its isolation in 1965 was that it was immediately identified as a pathogen that could be used and modified for a whole host of reasons. And you heard me correctly, that was 1965. And by the way, these slides are public domain. You're welcome to look at every single reference. Every comment that I made is based on published material. So do make sure that you look at those references. But in 1966, the very first COV coronavirus model was used as a transatlantic biological experiment in human manipulation. And you heard the date, 1966. I hope you're getting the point of what I'm saying. This is not an overnight thing. This is actually something that's been long in the making. A year before I was born, we had the first transatlantic coronavirus data sharing experiment between the United States and the United Kingdom. And in 1967, the year I was born, we did the first human trials on inoculating people with modified coronavirus. Isn't that amazing? 56 years ago, the overnight success of a pathogen that's been 56 years in engineering. And I want that to chill with all of you. Where were we when we actually allowed, in violation of biological and chemical weapons treaties, where were we as a human civilization when we thought it was an acceptable thing to do to take a pathogen for the United States and infect the world with it? Where was that conversation? And what should have been that conversation in 1967? That conversation wasn't had. Ironically, the common cold was turned into a chimera in the 1970s. And in 1975, 1976, and 1977, we started figuring out how to modify coronavirus by putting it into different animals, pigs and dogs. And not surprisingly, by the time we got to 1990, we found out that coronavirus as a infectious agent was an industrial problem for two primary industries, the industries of dogs and pigs. Dog breeders and pigs found that coronavirus created gastrointestinal problems, and that became the basis for Pfizer's first spike protein vaccine patent filed, are you ready for this, in 1990. Did you hear what I just said? 1990. Operation Warp Speed? I'm sorry. Where's the warp and the speed? Pfizer, 1990, the very first spike protein vaccine for coronavirus. Isn't that fascinating? Isn't it fascinating that we were told that, well, the spike protein is a new thing. We just found out that that's the problem. No. As a matter of fact, we didn't just find out it was not just now the problem. We found that out in 1990 and filed the first patents on vaccines in 1990 for the spike protein of coronavirus. And who would have thought? Pfizer. Clearly the innocent organization that does nothing but promote human health. Clearly Pfizer. The organization that has not bought the votes in this chamber and in every chamber of every government around the world. Not that Pfizer. Certainly they wouldn't have had anything to do with this. But oh yes, they did. And in 1990 they found out that there was a problem with vaccines. They didn't work. Do you know why they didn't work? It turns out that coronavirus is a very malleable model. It transforms and it changes and it mutates over time. As a matter of fact, every publication on vaccines for coronavirus from 1990 until 2018, every single publication concluded that coronavirus escapes the vaccine impulse because it modifies and mutates too quickly for vaccines to be effective. And since 1990 to 2018, that is the published science, ladies and gentlemen. That's following the science. Following the science is their own indictment of their own programs that said it doesn't work. And there are thousands of publications to that effect, not a few hundred. And not paid for by pharmaceutical companies. These are publications that are independent scientific research that shows unequivocally, including efforts of the chimera modifications made by Ralph Baric in the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. All of them show vaccines do not work on coronavirus. That's the science. And that science has never been disputed. But then we had an interesting development in 2002. And this date is most important. Because in 2002, the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill patented, and I quote, an infectious replication defective clone of coronavirus. Listen to those words. Infectious replication defective. What does that phrase actually mean? For those of you not familiar with language, let me unpack it for you. Infectious replication defective means a weapon. It means something meant to target an individual, but not have collateral damage to other individuals. That's what infectious replication defective means.
I think the Russians were worried about.
In 2002, on work funded by NIAID's Anthony Fauci from 1999 to 2002, and that work, patented at the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, mysteriously preceded SARS 1.0 by a year. Dave, are you suggesting that SARS 1.0 wasn't from a wet market in Wuhan? Are you suggesting it might have come from a laboratory in the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill? No, I'm not suggesting it. I'm telling you that's the facts. We engineered SARS. SARS is not a naturally occurring phenomenon. The naturally occurring phenomenon is called the common cold. It's called influenza-like illness. It's called gastroenteritis. That's the naturally occurring coronavirus. SARS is the research developed by humans weaponizing a life system model to actually attack human beings. And they patented it in 2002. And in 2003.
Well, there's a longer version. There's a longer version of that, but I think you get the point. The point
Yeah,
is,
and so
Yeah, it's spot on.
yeah.
well,
Guys,
Go ahead.
I'm in North Carolina. Dr. Fauci moved that over to Dr. Ralph Baric, and he he liked the engineering part. That's his goal, and that's where it got patented in 2002. But he was involved many years before that. And then gain of function, the medical community, the research community, government regulatory, FDA, all the different federal bureaucracies were very concerned about gain of function. And
they banned it under Obama, right?
Yeah, but it was 2014, but COVID moved over there in 2019.
Then they moved it off to Ukraine and China.
Yeah, I was gonna say they just that was so that they could move it to Ukraine.
Right. And what they did to cover the funding is they ran it through Eco Health Alliance, then went to Wuhan. It was kind of the NGO bait and switch. Yeah.
somewhere in there.
Yeah. But the
Well,
the
it
problem
goes back to
the problem with this virus though, guys, is the reason they it was a replicator, but it also existed outside the host longer, like on a surface, like an animal or human. It would exist on the surface longer. And that
girl, I was spraying everything with Lysol. I remember
that was the smart thing to do because it lived longer on surfaces. And just FYI, the next time you go see somebody in the hospital, when you leave, just realize you just carried out all the bacteria and viruses on the bottom of your shoes into your car. So I wear booties, but I've spent a lot of time in hospitals. I look for booties or I'm changing my shoes and I have a medical waste bag to put them in until I can get them home, put them in my garage and clean them. So I'm careful about what I wear in a hospital because you bring it, you put it in your car, then you walk into your house with those shoes on. And if you have a crawling baby, that's when I got neurotic. When I had my 2 babies, I'm like, shoes off.
Shoes off in the house. You don't want to carry all what you've been walking around all day with, like in there onto your carpet, stuff
but
like
this
that.
this also goes back to this idea that, people are just finding out some of this stuff, and this is going to break people. It is absolutely, when you start messing with people's health, and then you come out and you say, oh, yeah, guys, we did this. We totally did this. Oh, and by the way, it changes your DNA. Yeah, that's got to be a very delicately handled thing. Otherwise, we're going to have total and complete anarchy.
Yeah, that's the thing that I'm like trying to explain, even with the process of indicting these people. You got to get the people in. You got to clean up the department, of the FBI. Clean up the CIA, continue with that, and then you could go and investigate these people, when and then put it together, and make some arrests. It's doesn't happen literally in 20 minutes or an hour or a day. It's gonna take a couple days, maybe a month, and it'll be piece by piece so people could handle it. There's people that woke up 2 months before the election, literally, that decided, okay, I'm going to change my vote. I'm not going to vote for this madness. These people are crazy. And this woman is stupid. And, and her VP is a pervert and a weirdo, so you got to it's got to be it's so much. It's worldwide, it's national, it's a lot to handle. And some of us have known these things for a while, and we're it's still for me, it's a lot that's been going through so far. It's awesome. Let's go. Let's keep it rolling. And I want to keep it going and keep the pressure on, but we don't want to put the pressure on so much that we break our foot and we can't run anymore. So
that's exactly right. And I think back to, again, when I woke up and took the red pill. I mean, I was always a conservative, but it took me several months to figure out how to exist in my real fake life, right? Because how do you explain to people that everything that they know or have known their whole lives is a lie?
Literally the Matrix, right? Holy crap.
I did want to, I wanted to welcome to the stage Brock. I know, Brock, we've been trying to get you up and tried to have you in the other night. So welcome.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the follow. Apologize if the sound quality is bad. I'm in public right now, and for those who don't know, I am somebody who is being targeted by the globalists we're fighting against. So there's a noise where I'm at. But thank you for having me.
Is he still there?
Oh, did we lose you?
He's still there. He muted himself.
No, his mic's unmuted. I think his connection.
Oh, I see it.
No, I'm looking at it right now. He's muted. He closed his mic.
Okay. Guys, I just want to add one little tail piece onto the COVID. There's a study on X that Yale did and put out. I went through it. It took me, 20 hours to go through and try to break it down into layman's language as much as I could without destroying the intent. And I probably did. So I am a layperson in medical, but we have to be concerned now about the synthetic mRNA, what that does to our health. And the Yale study has come out, and it's kind of rocking the medical research industry right now because what we're dealing with is long-term health issues. And but the challenge is the timing of the supposed leak and the consequences to the human race. But here's the thing that stunned me more than anything. I couldn't find a lot of clinical trials. And a lot of these clinical trials were done on very young 20-year-olds. So these are patients that don't have chronic disease like being overweight or diabetes, vascular heart, depression, all these other different combinations. Neuro is a problem. Looking at patients and their reaction, because as Chris said, it inflames the body, so it activates the immune response at just a little like a little piece of the virus. But even though it's technically dead, but they know how to inflame the immune system so you can build up antibodies to protect yourself from it. Well, I think that science is junk science because I am seeing we do have the largest amount of baby births on day one. We also, of all industrialized countries, you would think we have the strictest FDA, CDC in the world. Now think about that. We're at the bottom of all industrialized countries when it comes to good patient outcomes and then cost of patient care. We're the lowest and the highest cost. And we supposedly have the best medical system in the world. What does that tell you? And then we have one more bigger problem. Bobby Kennedy has a bigger problem now, changing behavior and things inside hospitals, doctors' offices, and et cetera. Why? Because big business has bought them. Hospitals are now called systems. 70+% of private care doctors are owned by the hospitals.
You're in networks, right? You gotta stay within your network.
Yes. And you only get referred to in that network because that's the only ones they'll give you the names of. But hear this part. They will not change protocols because they live on 3 priorities. Number 1, profit. Number 2, risk. They will not let their doctors step outside protocol management. So the system is set up to fail patients. Number 1 is profit. Number 2 is how much do we have to pay out in lawsuits. Number 3 is patient outcome. It is set up against patients, and doctors are going through medical school. They are told exactly what your protocol management is. Doctors have been trying to free themselves, but they're having a tough time, and they have such huge debt. They can't afford to leave their job. So
you can't leave the network.
Yes,
right?
yeah.
And if you're out of network, then good luck as a practitioner, right?
Right. And part of it is from a patient standpoint, your insurance company kind of redefines your access to healthcare and how it's paid for, and then tag in the hospital system. But it's big business that's making decisions, and they're not the people who should be making decisions about patient care. I've been struggling on X trying to figure out where is my spot. And this is where I'm going to be moving to, is health and food, because now we have the commitment at the White House, and with Bobby Kennedy and all the changes, I want to educate. I want to bring in people to educate, because we have got to take care of our health, and I'm terrified for our children and their future. So, but this is important. We need to take control of our health, but we have to be educated first. And thank you so much, Kim, for bringing this today. This is amazing. This is amazing. Who's got their hands up? Let's see, Mary.
We got Matt and Mary, and then Brock dropped down again. He must be having a connection issue.
Well, Mary, I know, has been up there very patient. So, Mary, go ahead, honey.
Hey, I just want to say hello to everybody, and I've been listening for a while, on and off. One thing you touched on about the Matrix, funny thing is, I've never seen the Matrix movie, but my question, a couple of things is, so if everything's a lie, what is reality then? I mean, are we living in the Matrix, or how do we distinguish what is the Matrix and what is reality? And then the second thing I have is talking with you talking about the vaccines and stuff. It's almost, and it's a scary thought, but it's almost to the fact that society or the whole system needs to be eliminated. It's because it's so embedded everywhere that it's like a house. I mean, you got to, if the house is broken, you got to rip it all off and start all over. And that's what I have to say.
Could I respond to that Matrix question? What I'd say is, it's a matrix of lies that we've been fed. So it's just kind of grasping reality and coming to terms with those lies is pretty much the deal there. You got to come to terms with those lies, accept them, and then you could move forward. And
free speech is going to cure it.
Yeah. Free speech, know where we're moving as a country, which is positive. We had that timeline shift, back in July where that bullet could have hit his head, but and then we'd be in possibly anarchy. Who knows? Because they want chaos, order out of chaos. So they create chaos. They're chaos agents. These people, these globalists. So, that's the idea. Is that we need to accept these, and then the sooner that people accept it, the sooner we could change it, right? And that's the thing. We're getting there, and people's eyelids are being peeled back. So that's the best response I could give you in regards to that.
And Adam, you're 100% right. My one friend who has been, he's still annoyingly leftist, is coming around. Done what is it, talking to him, and been like, hey man, come on stage. I was like, I'll bring you up, I'll have people come talk to you, because he's still all in for the vaccine, still all in for all this stuff. But like, he literally, like with the Doge stuff, he's spiraling. Like his stuff is just, it's getting bad. So honestly, that was one of the reasons I was going to come up here. I was like, man, if I'm able to bring somebody who's like normally a leftist, and we can teach him a little bit with kitty gloves and not beat him up too much. He's my friend, not today, but soon. And we get him up here, we can probably beat all of his vaccine disinformation and maybe actually crack someone.
It's not about beating them either. Like it's about allowing.
Oh no, I'm just no, I know. But the thing that happens a lot of times, when you get a leftist point of view, even in our things, is we beat them up a little bit because we get frustrated. But this dude's actually been my friend for like, I don't know, 20 years. So
well, it's like our friend Edward. He always says, adopt a Democrat, they're going to need it.
Stop trying to pimp your friend off on me, Vince. I'm not beating off any man.
It's good to see you, Vinny. We miss you.
Yeah, Benny, where have you been? Have you been out?
My wife has what is it? She's got HG from the pregnancy. She's just going through it hard. So a lot of times if she's sleeping or going through stuff, and I'm not trying to talk loud, but right now she's out, and I saw you guys were up here, so I decided to pop in. It's good to see you guys. I miss you guys. I'm definitely here following stuff as much as I can on here, getting frustrated with all these retarded judges stopping his stuff, but I like that the train's rolling forward. I'm glad you guys are growing and coming together. I'm glad Southern Europe here co-hosting and stuff. It's cool that the train moves along, even though I'm not here, considering how long, you know, and how much effort we just put in for the last 3 years and stuff. So thanks you guys for continuing the fight. I really do appreciate it.
Well,
we miss you, Manny. We miss you.
You single-handedly saved the Pennsylvania election, I think.
Well,
all that knocking, bro.
Yeah, well, dude, it's good. Like, you know, I'm glad you guys helped me find where I fit in, you know, in the whole thing, and that's kind of the thing that helped. Like, you know, I thought I was gonna be running around the country with Dustin, and when that fell apart, I got sad, and then I realized God was like, "No, the election's in your backyard, you idiot." And so, like,
Yup, we're doing
cool.
God's work, bro. You know,
Yeah.
that's the thing. You gotta stay on that page and like, you know, just let God, you know, guide you. And
Absolutely. And that's what I wanted to say to Mary real quick was, Mary, you said you don't know what's true and what is true. To me, it's the Bible, God, that kind of stuff, looking into that stuff. And if you're not comfortable with that, at least biblical principles, because you can't go wrong if you're kind, loving, seek the truth, put people before yourself, and treat people like you want to be treated. You can't go wrong following those rules. And I just got done arguing with somebody about racism because their whole thing is like, you know, we obviously know the problem with racism. A lot of it is more prevalent in the Black community, but that doesn't mean. So anyways, I'm getting too deep into it, but that doesn't mean that we go and be racist. You have to be above it. And that's the whole thing, is being above it, breaking toxic cycles and all that kind of stuff, and showing people love, which on Twitter can be really hard because a lot of times we're making fun of people. I'm not above it. You guys know, me and Dustin pretty much brought back the word retard, but, you know, you'd be mean to people, but if they're going to talk to you in good faith, then you got to love them and stuff like that. You know what I mean? You got to do your best to hold your tongue, even though they're incredibly dense, and, you know, love people. So that's the best way I can put it. So Mary, if you don't know what's real, the people
try to be a
you
shepherd,
love and love them. Yep, exactly. You have to love people, even though it's really hard. That's why Jesus was like, even love your enemies. And I struggle with that all the time. But, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, as long as they're arguing good faith, love them. As soon as they're outside of good faith and they want to fight, we're in an information war. So destroy them. That's how I
love
love
them right
them
in
from
the
afar.
gitmo. All right.
Thank you.
Vinny, I love you, Vinny, but not in a fake and gay way.
That's the only way. No, I'm kidding.
Did you say not in a way that's like space?
No, I love you guys. I do miss you guys. It's been really weird because you know, you guys are such a big part of my life, but now my wife's just, you know, I can't talk. I do spend a lot of time sitting on Twitter. It's just in silence and talking and arguing with people. So you can talk to me on the other part in the comments and stuff if you want. But yeah,
you traded us for your wife. I mean,
I was
seriously.
gonna say, dude, your virtual family for a real family. What's wrong with you, man?
I go back.
I almost leave right there.
Says the guy who, you know, keeps us hidden.
I don't keep you hidden. Nobody's interested.
You're hiding us, Chris, from your family?
No, nobody in his real life knows about us.
That's not true. I give my cards out at church.
He has to be incognito.
Yeah, Chris
He's
has
got liberals around him.
Yeah, Chris has to spend a lot of time in church. You got a long list of people he's praying for. By the way, we're on it, so we have to behave better.
Speaking of, I'm praying for Bongino because he was assigned to the Secret Service detail for that $65,000 hot dog party.
Oh.
And he will not name the handler of Epstein. He refuses to name the handler of Epstein. He just says some Middle Eastern country. So that's my issue.
Yo, what's with they just lost the list? Is that literally something that I just read that's true? The FBI just lost the list?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm sorry. If they can't get that
Don't
list,
worry, we have
We got
copies.
the list. We just need people to be charged, you know? Like, we don't.
No, what's it called? I just saw a thing. The FBI saying we lost the list. We lost everyone they're connected with. If that's true, then just burn it down. The FBI.
I just saw
shouldn't even be a thing.
something. Somebody tweeted out that they were burning files and shit like that all through the night at the FBI. I don't buy that. All this stuff is like, honestly, dude. Space Force is not a joke. Like, people made fun of it when it came out, and their job is space, like as in inner space, like internet space. You know, like this is like they
Where
took over
are we right now, Adam?
communications of every military, the Navy in 2023. I think they finished up locking down all that telecommunications. And you have all this stuff in place. You think the Patriot Act's still not in place? Yes, it is. So all this shit's tapped, all this shit's collected, and yeah, that's my opinion on it. Like they could try to like smash cell phones with hammers, but you could still pull the data off that cell phone regardless. You could smash it all you want. You can send it to a lab, dust-free lab, and they'll be able to extract that data off those devices. So none of this stuff, even bleach bit, does not completely remove everything. You can still recover things with bleach bit. So all this stuff, the data collection is there to be had.
And
I don't think they could
that they're
destroy
actually trying to like run this play of, oh, we lost the list. Come on.
Yeah,
man.
this is like that's the thing, right? Like I wish I today I just sat there and was like, we literally deal with people who are like not even middle schoolers. Like that is like the feeling I get where it's like, no, I lost it, Dad. I don't know what happened to my homework. You know, and it's this like insane, like I just can't believe that we tolerate these people anymore in so many ways. That's why what Trump's doing by just throwing so much stuff at them to that they don't even know what to grab onto is the strategy, because they're petulant children. These people have been in power and think that these buzzwords mean something, and they don't. It's just so unbelievably frustrating that I can't believe that it's even hard for me to believe that everything isn't propped up. Like I'm actually starting to get scared by looking at all the waste and stuff, that our economy might not even be real, that everything might just be propped up by the
It's
government.
fiat, bro. It is fiat. You know, that's the thing, that we're going to have to come to these realizations. And then they've got something in place. The whole Ripple network, all that XRP and is going to be in place. It's all ISO, which is International Standard Organization. And their XRP is like one of like probably like 9 or 7, basically blockchain technologies that are ISO certified. So that they've got something in place for that to segue us over, and we're gonna move. It's gonna be a financial system shift, but
it's going to be painful. Look, it's going to be
we're gonna
painful.
audit the Fed. We're gonna go in there and check out is the gold still there? Is it not? And that's the thing, is like, it doesn't matter if that gold was there or not, honestly, because it's fiat. Like what they've been doing. If the gold is there, it does matter. But you know what I mean? Like in the current state of like the past 20 years or so, and beyond, that it didn't even need to be like there to be there, because they were just printing money up and printing more and printing more. So they just devalued the dollar, to its fullest extent here. And it's just, it's a system that was, set to crash. We're going to go get some oil reserves. We're going to have all sorts of assets in the U.S. that we're going to be able to put together on top of the gold that, whatever we do find there, hopefully. But yeah.
If only we had like a place we could get shirts and T-shirts and hoodies that said like American Mission, and we could wear them, and people would learn about American Mission by us wearing merchandise. That would be a really cool thing. Is there such a thing, Kim?
Yeah, I think there is. It's on. Let's see, it's on the tip of my tongue.
If you go to
Kim sounds a lot like Matt.
AmericanMission.com, you can check out our stores. We have a swag store where you can get neat things like a bikini, because that's coming up, and people are doing spring break and going to Florida or other points south. Maybe Panama or Cayman Islands. Cayman Islands is a popular destination right now for Democrats, and you can still buy our bikini because it's hot, right? Make America Mission right there where it counts. Then there's a clothing store which has all sorts of great stuff: T-shirts and hats and what have you.
Hoodies for right now.
Hoodies, right? Yeah, I bought a hoodie and I bought a heavy coat, and they fit well. They wear well. They're excellent quality, and
made or sourced in the U.S. or allies.
We need to put the bikini, the AM logo at the bottom of the bikini, so Chris could say, "Drop down and get your eagle on, girl," sort of thing.
He did. The new version of the bikini has that.
Yeah, the new bikini says "Make America Your Mission."
Right where it counts.
Right where it counts. But there's also there's bar glasses. There's frisbees, the original Whammo frisbee. There's fanny packs. There's a Mr. 30 Below blanket. If you want to, show your support for Mr. 30 Below. We've got yoga pants. There's all flip flops. There's all sorts of things there.
The trash discourse black tie.
That's true.
You
can have a raccoon on your tie.
Laser eyes. Freaking lasers.
So it's all there. It's all fun. It's great stuff. The phone cases are excellent. I've dropped my phone at least 200 times and it's still not dead. Everybody,
you're so good at this.
You want to throw them a discount code?
There's a discount code for the clothing store. We're not giving anything off on the Chotskys at the moment, but it's reasonably priced because Kim beat me down, even though I wanted to have a higher margin. And so you can go there and have fun and spend your money and support American Mission, and display our logo with pride.
Yeah, and we have weekly subscriber spaces, so hit that subscribe button. It's only $2, and that's half a cup of coffee, right? Half the price of a cup of coffee. So yeah, definitely hit that subscribe button on American Mission.
I remember when that was the price of 2 cups of coffee.
Right?
Exactly.
Dude, it was 50 cents.
Brother, can you spare a dime, right?
Hey, Chris, why aren't you modeling all this merch and why aren't we putting that out there?
We got him in a bikini.
Hey, Vinny.
Hello.
He has sent several bikinis and has not gotten any modeling pictures back yet.
That is so rude.
Yeah, where are the banana hammocks?
That's
Hey,
right.
Kim, if
Would
y'all
you like a bikini?
I would
If
love
y'all
a
seriously have
bikini.
those pics, it's not a
send me
bikini, it's a mankini.
Send me your information in a DM, and I will get you a bikini out.
Chris is making his move, guys.
Awesome.
Need
Get
your,
him now at American
need your
Yeah.
address, phone number, and email address, and I will get you a bikini out today.
Oh,
Yeah.
Chris, thank you. That's so
And
sweet.
I just wear the bottoms and then tie the tops to my head as a blindfold on the beach.
Yes.
Oh, I need to know what size you want to. So
Oh, Lord.
I know
Okay.
it's small, but
Denny, that's how the wife got pregnant when you did that.
I got to come up with a girl name.
I have a mental picture right now, Vinny, that is not making my day. Okay.
I'm thinking of the Zohan right now. Vinny's out there like Scratchy Coco or whatever it was, Scrappy Popo.
Vinny's wife does not need a bikini right now. But we will send her one come August when she's back in.
I never wore a bikini more than when I was pregnant because it didn't matter. I was pregnant, so why not?
All right, fine.
Exactly.
Yeah, send me
Get with your
send
get
me
with
your
your
stuff,
bikini
Benny.
team.
We'll send you a bikini.
Okay.
Yeah, want to have a bikini team.
500,000 CBDC tokens to Vinny if he photographs himself in the bikini and puts it out there for us.
Dude.
I'll pay him not to send that picture out, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I
nobody
make money on
wants
both sides of this one.
Hey, nobody wants to see a dude in a bikini. Like, I'm pretty sure
How much
none of y'all are
you willing to
witness
pay to not see it?
I'm pretty sure none of y'all
Billion
are winning the
CBDCs.
skill competition. I'm just
I
saying.
will not be sending a bikini to Dylan, whatever his name is, from the Bud Light.
Dylan
Mulvaney.
Yeah, they will definitely not be getting a bikini.
These are anti-trans bikinis.
Dude,
You have to be born female to get a bikini.
The bikini has a guillotine. Has a guillotine.
I was gonna say, Craig. There's gotta be some sort of mechanism.
Which means none of you dudes
Gotta
should
do
be
it.
wearing one.
It chops and dices.
It's not a tuck back. It's a chop back.
You got to show proof of birth certificate with a bikini purchase, so that way we can tell that you're female.
And this is what happens when you devolve because you've been on the space for too long.
Yes.
So did you guys see what's it called? That Hooters is going out of business?
I did see that.
So
did you see that they were like they were talking about stealing wings or something? I only caught the backside of the story, but apparently the waitresses would not give them the full dozen wings or whatever they ordered. They take one at a time and then have their meal.
That's hilarious. So I thought of a better version, but for females, and I think it would be called Sea of Mussels, and it would be a what is it? It would be a seafood place, and when the women pulled up, it would be valet because they're not supposed to park their own car, and then they ask if you want an oil change or to top off your gas. And then when they go in and you order your drinks, it's all in jars where the lids are too tight. So then the dudes there who are all buff, you have to call them over to open up the jar. And so I think that right there. And then you could get I honestly think a restaurant / mechanic place, where your car gets worked on while you eat food for women is on. It started out as a joke and now I'm this actually might be a decent business.
I'm going to go there if you make that restaurant for sure.
I'll never allow my wife to step foot in that place. You're going to have to work out every day to keep your wife if you got a place open like that.
It's along the lines of my my idea of wine and eyes, because I cannot see when I drink. So I want to go to the eye doctor when I've had a few drinks. So I was going to put a wine bar next door and then get my eyes tested. I quit drinking though.
Yeah, I was
Whining eyes?
You couldn't have your eyes tested while you were drinking.
That's what I'm saying. You drink, get a buzz, and then you go in and get your eyes tested. And the doctor told me that doesn't work.
Because then they'll give you a prescription and you'll end up going cross-eyed,
Yeah, I don't. Oh, dude, I don't.
It's real beer goggles. That's what I was going for. I was going for real beer goggles.
By the way, guys, thank y'all for showing up Friday night. I have to admit I made a couple of mistakes, a couple of things I shouldn't have done, but thank y'all for showing up and sticking by me anyway.
I didn't notice. That was a great space.
Yeah, me neither.
And Kim, you would only be able to see when you're drunk.
We're our biggest critics.
I did a couple. Say that again, Adam.
I said we are our own biggest critics. So.
No. I did. So I did a couple of things at the beginning where I told my co-host what to do on mic. Apparently, you don't do that. And then the other thing is I said something that came across as a self-promotion, and I wasn't watching the reactions from the audience, and apparently it did not land, so I didn't ever bring it up again. So anyway, anyway,
It's okay. It's okay, Matt. Matt, it's okay. You can come work at the restaurant next to the Sea of Mussels called Ocean of Clams.
No thanks. No thanks. I respect your military service, but no thanks.
Well, I tell my co-host what to do all the time off mic.
Right? I have co-hosts tell me what to do all the time. What the hell?
So what am
I just have a free for all on mine.
So my question is, if Hooters closes, what will replace
Savvy's
it?
been in my space once, and she's like, "Yeah, it's a good different
Matt,
style."
can you hear Craig?
What do you say?
I said, if Hooters closes, what will replace it?
Not Hooters.
Twin Peaks.
No, it'll be the
Twin Peaks.
strip club next to the ocean.
Tallywhackers.
It'll be the strip club next to the ocean of clams called Moby Dick's.
With chicken wings.
Tastes like chicken.
Y'all.
This is an afternoon space.
It's
It's not quite nighttime to be having this kind of convo.
It's a good thing I have had
on the East Coast.
We open up a melon restaurant called Melons.
I was about to say it's 6 o'clock on the best coast, so we're fine.
Oh, all
It's
fruit
considered
all the
easy.
time.
It seems that we sort of devolved when Miss Savvy came in here. I wonder what that's all
Oh, it was a
about.
whole
No!
bikini bit with Chris. It's all his
I know. I derailed the space again. My mistake. I needed this. I had been in bed all day with food poisoning, so this is actually getting my mind off of everything. So,
I'm
but
so sorry about
I
that.
did not mean to derail.
No, you got a free bikini out of it. What can you say? You know?
Right. That's right.
Yeah, check out Sea of Muscles.
Speaking of food, guys, I got to bounce to go eat some steak. I'll catch y'all later.
Is that the cricket-based steak?
I'm pretty sure.
Better
it's
back
not.
to rare.
I'm pretty sure it's not. That the likes of the WEF would probably like that, but the Davos crowd would probably want you eating that. But this ain't that. So
good.
Craig was wondering he could cook it up with his lasers from where he's at for you. No.
Space lasers.
Yeah, I need to call Israel and cook my steak from space.
Oh, I could arrange that. We have really good targeting.
Like, look at that cat. Look at the laser eyes on that cat. That thing looks deadly.
Y'all are bad. Let me tell you, y'all are so funny because you're talking about somebody stealing chicken wings. I was at a restaurant last week, and I swear to God, I had to get fish, codfish, and they come in big chunks. And I know a friend who orders that a lot. And this time I only had about 3 pieces. And I'm saying, wait a minute. They took some of my fish. So I go
that's
to the
how they eat their meals.
Yes. So this confirms I'm not crazy. That's the hell they was doing. Because when I went to the bathroom, come back to my seat, I see the chef like stuff something real fast in his mouth. Yo, I'm gonna let the restaurant know they stole some of my fish.
Wonder where they hide the fish if they don't eat it.
Well, I don't know where you're gonna hide it on a Hooters outfit. You know, that thing is pretty skimpy.
Well,
always smells like fish in there.
Damn it, Vinny.
I'm telling you, they stealing our food, like portion by portion. And right, by the end of the day, they got a nice meal.
There's little Bill Clinton or Bill Gates clones running around stealing food.
Yeah, you gotta.
They're like literally taxing your meal as
Shay,
a
you should go-
waiter.
you
Like,
should
what
go
the
in there
hell?
You should go in there and orange face and accuse them. Somebody took 2 of my wings, part of my cod. You're fired.
The great wing thieves.
What was the wings and the cod cooked in beef tallow or seed oil?
Tallow all day.
Hey, have any of y'all seen the Ian Carroll video that came out today?
No, what was it about?
It's about a problem. He's got a clip in there from Dan Bongino.
Oh yeah. Him not really saying that it's Mossad.
Oh yeah, I saw that yesterday. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I think that he's got to kind of, be careful about what he's saying. And we don't want him to show all of his cards. And I think that he sort of handled it just fine.
Well,
I mean, I agreed with Ian.
Just blame the Jews for everything. It will resolve.
Well, say that
It worked last time, right?
Dan didn't blame them. That was the problem.
Can we have a discussion about this really? Because I am so pissed off about this shit. Sorry. Again, I am sick and emotional from being sick today, but this is pissing me off. I can't stand the shit that comes in my feed. It's like when did hating
the Jewish community happen. And it's on every single angle, every single side. And I'm like, this is freaking wild to me.
When hating white men didn't pull off what they wanted to, they had to find a new group to attack.
Oh my
Oh, Jews have always been the group.
Yeah,
So let's
have,
get that
and
straight.
I just like,
We just had a really long hiatus.
oh my Lord, I am so over it. And then you've got someone like freaking Kanye wearing the shirt that he wore the other day when he made a post. And that, oh my God, that sent me through the roof. But this is wild.
He's just a clout chaser now.
You know, being that I am a Jew and I have space lasers,
I want a space laser.
but there's a problem is every time
Gotta convert.
Do only Jewish people have space lasers?
No, you can
Because
Hey,
it's,
listen. Hey, I got to say something. This ain't got anything to do with racism or Judaism. This has to do with our federal government being corrupted. And we got to make that separation from it. Now,
100%.
when Epstein's file comes out, and here's the point Bongino made, and Carol was kind of echoing. All those tapes that Epstein's got, Israel's got. And Israel used them tapes to corrupt our leadership. Now, you don't have to corrupt the whole damn thing. It's like the casino games in Vegas. All you got to do is tilt it 2 or 3% to your side, and you win.
I personally don't believe it's just Israel. I believe it's
No, it's not. It's our CIA as well.
It's the whole Five Eyes.
Yeah, Five Eyes.
y'all
Yeah,
see
exactly.
Netanyahu last
CIA,
month?
British intelligence, you know, Mossad, CIA.
Yeah,
It's all dirty.
All the
you know?
so-called
So, like, it's
secret
not about
agents.
Jews. It's about the dirtiness within all of our governments here, and it all roots back to England, I think. You know.
Well, look, tell me one time in history where two nations' strategic interests align 100% of the time. Name me one example where anybody's ever said that. Our founders said trade and commerce with everybody and alliances with none. So how in the span of what, 60, 70 years, we got, man, when Netanyahu showed up last month, that was ridiculous to watch him speak to that. Those are our lawmakers. He spoke for 45 minutes and got 50-something standing ovations. I'm sorry. We're sitting here swinging behind the ball all day
So
long.
did Zelensky, you know, like so did you know, like anybody that these people are benefiting off of, you know, like it's the people in our government. It's the people, you know, like it's nothing to do with Jewish or not, you know, like it's just evil people. Period.
Where's Aaron? Where's Aaron to tell them?
Yeah,
to tell
Aaron will
everyone
break
that-
it down.
Yeah. Well, he'll just be like,
Craig.
they're not Jews.
Well,
It's not.
the thing is that you
It's
know,
just-
if you look at the Bible, Israel's been there for 3,000 years. So,
which Bible?
The government's
Which
corrupt
Bible?
there as it is
talking about the
here.
C.I.
You
Scofield
know,
Bible or the
governments
one
are
before that?
corrupt.
first Old Testament, which both religions use.
Mm-hmm.
But Craig, you know, we could say our own government here in the U.S. is corrupt, right? So why can't we say that about there? It's the government. It's not the Jewish people. People got to learn to differentiate that, or you sound like a damn idiot. You know, like you sound like a hater piece of crap, lowlife. If you're just saying, "Oh, it's the Jews," you know, it's the stupidest thing. It's a simple-minded, like nimble-minded thing to say.
Well, I think the easiest way to do it is to look at it as we have an elitist worldwide cabal with my tinfoil hat, and
some of them claim to be Jews, and some of them claim to be Christians, and some of them claim to be Muslims.
If they truly, any of these people, if they truly believed in God, wouldn't be doing this to other human beings. So
that's good and evil. That's all.
The religion is just a scapegoat for people doing evil things, and you know, it's like if you believe in God, none of this would be happening. It's people that actually believe in Satan. I think there is absolutely good and evil.
I think you're getting too biblical.
What you're watching is the global elites use religion, the Muslims against the Christians, to benefit their pocketbook. On the second side, you see them using the the Republicans and the Democrats to go against each other to fight for the top bit of money with the climate change and all the different trickery that they use.
That's what you got to love about America, the resilience.
So
they
then-
tried to divide us so hard the past 4 years plus.
That's
and
correct,
look at how
Adam.
we came together.
That's correct.
Adam,
It's beautiful.
they've been trying to divide us for way longer. It was black, white, and when that stopped working, they came up with the LGBTQ WXYZ to try to divide us again. And then we've gone back to the old standard religious divisions. But if we're all created in the image of God, everything that's happening is happening for a reason.
Why does New York City, Chicago, Houston, and LA always vote
Because they're
Democrat?
leftist crazy people.
Something in the water.
And I also believe that we haven't had true and fair elections for decades. I think that the election system has been manipulated on a huge scale. Why would they fight paper ballots with humans counting? It's so hard because you can't cheat. And when computers got involved, it just made it easier. I mean, Trump wasn't supposed to.
The answer is the Department of Education brainwashes students into voting Democrat, and also they buy their votes by passing out drug needles and food stamps and welfare, and they support the addictions, such as in San Francisco
And then
other
they use
cities.
USAID to fund the people who
Correct.
tell them that everything's going right. Like that's
Did you
what's so
see that?
wild.
Did you see that
overthinking.
last
You're
you see
just
that last
totally
protest?
overthinking it. It's
Did you
not
see
that
that?
broad.
Did you see that last protest where they had like 8 people? It's so funny since they lost their USAID money.
USAID.
Okay,
Yeah, I
let-
saw
let-
that.
you guys
That was
let-
comical.
Let Tim talk, please. It was his turn. Go ahead, Tim.
Thank you. Epstein was an Israeli Mossad agent. Ghislaine Maxwell is an Israeli Mossad agent. Ghislaine Maxwell's father was an infamous Israeli Mossad agent. Anthony Blinken's father was Ghislaine Maxwell's father's lawyer. So taking race and religion and bias and all that out of it, our leadership, the controls of our government have been infiltrated by a foreign government. So, I could go for hours on this, and that Ian Carroll, and you look, man, I'm a grown man. You can call me any damn name you want to call me, but the facts are the damn facts. When Epstein's shit comes out and you find out that was an Israeli Mossad intelligence operation to blackmail our leadership with kitty porn, so to speak, what you gonna do about it? We're sitting here swinging behind the 8 ball all the time. We miss everything. We just got bamboozled. We got hoodwinked to the nth degree with the COVID stuff, and we're all sitting here talking about how bad it is, but nobody's looking forward to see how we're getting fucking bamboozled. And if I tell the truth and just state facts, we've all got it in our head. Oh, you can't say anti-Semitism. You can badmouth everybody on this planet except Israel.
It's a country, it's a government, and that's what I'll
Diddy's-
criticize.
Diddy's not Jewish. So let's go there. So maybe Epstein is Jewish, whatever. He's Mossad, but Diddy's not. So I mean, I think it's all of them. I think that we should not be looking at the religion
That's
or
correct.
the intelligence. It is all of them. They are all scum of the earth, and they hurt children. That's it. That's all we need to know.
We gotta just draw that line in the sand. Your kids,
the
I don't
body
care what you
snatchers.
are. You're fucking you got a millstone. That's what you got.
Well, you kind of got to find the lowest common denominator for all the evil people. We sit here in a civilized society, and we just because you don't know any evil people don't mean evil people don't exist. That COVID shit killed 1 million Americans and up to 17 million people worldwide. They knew that was going to happen, but they were just worrying about the bottom line and the money. We just killed 1.3 million Ukrainian men. And we talk about it like it's a football game. So I'm just saying, let's just keep our eyes open, pay attention, but I'm tired of swinging at the fastball. We have got
I'm tired of the battle. I'm tired of the battle the last 22 years. We've been at war killing everybody, and there's no solution in sight, and there's nothing to show as a reward. And my generation is tired of it all. And we've
Because we've been
2020,
fighting
man.
ghosts
I'm sick of sitting around
that we've
bitching
been
about-
generating ourselves.
Anyway, I'm emotional about this thing. That video's really got me stirred. But let's just wait and play it out and see who the bad guys are, because we're going to damn find out.
I think, unfortunately, the names that we know are not the names that are running it.
Yeah, what Epstein was just a henchman. These
are pawns.
Like there's
It
people
goes
behind him.
all the way to the top.
Yeah.
The Rockefellers, the Rothschilds.
Rockefeller,
These people. I mean, look
CFR.
at what Candace Owen is uncovering with Macron and the dad and the fact that we've allowed these people to stay. Adam, that we've allowed these people to stay at the top is absolutely ridiculous. Like, these evil robber barons need to go. They need to be not at the top of our society anymore. Why do we allow them to be there? We can take them down.
Well, something I believe from my tinfoil hat research that it all comes out of the British Empire with the royal families.
Well, why do you think the Brits just strengthened their sanctions against Russia and stuff like that? They're trying to signal it. I think that's literally what I thought of. I was like, oh, the cabal still wants to try and keep that war going.
Did you see my post up in the nest about from General Flynn talking about how some of the NATO countries are now really pushing to send troops into Ukraine? So it's apropos to what you guys are talking about.
And also some of the NATO countries are saying, screw America.
Yeah, France
Boris
was talking
Johnson
about,
could have signed.
We've been saying screw NATO. So
Yeah, France, Macron he did a video talking about increasing their military budget up to 5% of GDP, but he was with Trump, and Trump is talking peace. So I think this is interesting. But also, Germany just had an election, and they said they were going to be conservative and protect the borders. First day today said we're not really going to protect the borders. They lied 100%.
Because the new prime minister that just got elected is a World Economic Forum trustee and a BlackRock, German BlackRock guy.
There will be terrible times in the last days.